nageng ye nngwe ya bošulapudi ka gare ga dithaba-thaba le dinokanokana ga meedi ya go tšhoša nyela ya kgale mola maswika a sa leboleta le gona dihlogo putswa di sa iteana ka merwetla di apotšeng mmeleng di kgantšhetše nama khura ba itia monna sentsokela a be a šale a re sešane sa basadi go lla molodi wa tsitso o ka re molodi wa pekwa mehlareng ye metelele telele ya dihlaga tša go kamela ka gare mašohlonggo a go tšhoša a noka kgolo ya lepelle bo metsi ya gona a sepelago ka go nanya o ka rego ke mae ya tla pšhalega ga iketlile o ka re a tseba gabotsebotse mo a ya go gona ga o ka lebelela a tla sobelela mahlo a šala a foufetše leswiswi la leswiswi go le bontshontsho bja maru e se maru fela maru wa go tla le dipula tša go epolla mabitla a boragolokhukhu le bomagolokhukhu bo ba bolokwa fela ka mokgopo a kgomo ngwana mogalabe yana ka modupi moo bagolo ba ile go ba hlaba thedi ba thenya ditolo ba tia diatla pšo ba re yana pula ye haine le tarantlope ragoga ha ke re nanoga segola a se fela ge ke bone nao la motsumi le tarantlope ragogela godimo gobane ge le gwala legoga ke go bitša go gadikwa ka makhura go le kgole sebe monyanana wa dithotse ka go phurega tsela e sepelwa ka ponelopele ya bafenyi bao ba rego le tshela kgomo mokokotlo le fiša tšhiritšhiri ba re aowa e sa le ka mahwibi go ka šiame goma temong dithaga tša temo di eme ka dinao di eme ditsarego tše tsebe tša bommutla di eme ka le rego mohlang wa pula re tla ka ra ja ra khoralampanapalega le wena le tlarantlope ragoga bja mohla monene ge dipalobalo e šetše le tša maloba le maabane gobane seo se sa felego se a hlola ga bjalo radio turf ragogela godimo ka kodielo ya moepathutse kotse e le go ahlafa batheeletše ka tshedimušo le lesedi la metsi ya dipharoro leo le tlalago wa go falala ge e le nna tlogolo sa babina tlou ke re bjale ka sefofa se khutša le tlarantlope ragoga yana pula
megolokwane ka e batho radio turf ya gola bjale re tlo keteka re tlo ipshina. All right, maybe I should take my glasses off and see who's who. You guys are comfortable, right? I want to see who's who. Oh, I see Prof. Shalamusi here. My prof. Good evening. Sheila. Prof. Sheila Musi. I also see the executive of marketing from the University of Limpopo, Mr. Khomeswane. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming live from the University of Limpopo, streaming live. As we can tell, the whole continent is watching us. So make sure that you smile whenever the camera just take a turn on you, because even in Ghana, people are watching. Mr. Gap, the university finds solutions in Africa. So the whole continent is watching Radio Turf's 30th celebration. I see former presenters, you guys are looking good. Give yourself a round of applause. You are looking handsome. I had the pleasure to also be in the makeup room. You know, that's the most important room for all ladies. You guys are looking beautiful. And the time that is taken there, we're gonna have a great time tonight together. All right, for now, for the opening and welcome, so that you can all relax and feel welcome, I'm going to ask on stage Executive Dean from the Faculty of Humanities at the University of Limpopo, Prof. Mauto. Selector, Prof. Mauto is a good dancer. Very good dancer. Very good dancer, don't jealous him. Prof. Mauto. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Prof. Mauto on stage. You see a prof dance, eh? Let's do it, Prof.
Thank you. Let me start by taking this opportunity to acknowledge the following. Our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Prof. Mahalo, DVC Teaching and Learning, Prof. Madache, DVC Research, Innovation and Partnerships, Prof. Singh in absentia. From the Office of Chief Director, Sports, Arts and Culture, Me Mudlangomo. Polokwane Municipality, represented by Councillor Ntate Jerry Mamabolo. From Independent Communications Authority of South Africa, ICASA, represented by Ntate Kabelo Telele. From Media Development and Diversity Agency, MDDA, represented by Ntate Sfiso Mapanga and Ntate Chimba Chibesa. From Government Communication and Information Systems, GCIS, represented by Ntate Tanyane Ravura. From National Community Radio Forum, Limpopo, represented by Ntate Magonde Mbezi. Radio TEF co-founder, Ntate Spiwe Mdlalose. Board of Directors, former and current, we also acknowledge and recognize your presence. All sponsors and loyal listeners, and all university managers and staff, executive deans who some of them might be present, the directors, HODs, and all academic staff, and some of our students who might be here. As I welcome you and open this celebration formally, I hope all of you can see what I have. It's a cup, smaller cup, so beautiful, and inside this cup there is a tree, a small tree. At faculty level, we were given this gift by performing arts students. I hope they are also some of the listeners and some who are here are delighted that we treasure the gift. When they presented this gift to the faculty, it was accompanied by the following words: thank you for planting hope within us. Those were the students. These were the words to the faculty management by the 2023 cohort of students who were registered for performing arts. This is a gift and we treasure it. Their words prompted us to reflect deeper on what these students might be saying to to us at faculty. We became interested on searching what planting as an act of hope implies. We came across Wangari Maathai. It's an environmental activist and a Nobel Prize winner who unfortunately passed away on 25 September 2011. She once said, when we plant a tree, we plant hope. She means that planting a tree is planting a future. And this tree would be for everyone, whether children or birds, but the tree will benefit all of us in the long run and will last after we are gone. We truly cherished the gift from the students so much that it refuses to fade away. We continue hearing the students' silent voices saying, do something for us before you are gone. Re direleng se sengwe pele le sepela. That was our interpretation of the gift from the students. We cherish it and we can't throw it away. And we want to believe that radio drama is just another type of theater. Thus, it is one of the faces of performing arts. In radio, all we have are words, which are just the least part of communication. We miss the body language, the facial expressions, faces when listening to other actors, sneaking around, physically interacting with other actors, movement across the stage. All these things rest on communication, but it belongs to the theater actors. With radio, with radio, you have to do everything that I cited with only the voice alone. That's what we hear from the radio. And I was impressed on Tuesday. I never knew that the voice is important. And I never knew that the actors changes the voice depending on the context. Then we are remaining with a very big challenge in the faculty because of this gift that was presented by the students. And the challenge is to cater for the bigger picture. Now we are invited to the Radio TEF Gala Dinner to celebrate the 30 years of existence. That's nice. We welcome all of you. You must just relax and enjoy the refreshing evening. But there is a snack to eat. There is a snack to our presence here. The snack is that just like we cherish this, it adds to the challenge to the faculty. It adds to this. Remember, I said it was accompanied by the words of students that said, "Thank you for planting hope within us." The challenge cannot be for the faculty management alone. It has to be for all of us. As we enjoy the dinner, assist us by thinking deeply on how best we could support the program. When I'm saying the program, I'm referring to performing arts with all its facets, including the radio, such that we become relevant, responsive, and viable. We have to produce quality students who are nationally and internationally competitive. There is a silent voice again to this invitation by the Honorable Radio Manager, Mr. Mamadi. We hear that silent voice in you. It still adds to this one to say, do something for us. That's what you are saying to us. And you want us to plant hope. Our response is, we heard you. And we are going to act. So that those who would still be there after few years that's remaining for us shall see the fruits. On behalf of the faculty management, we welcome you, relax and enjoy. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Prof. Now everyone is welcome. Rea leboga mantswa mabotse. Ebile re tswela pele. Let's get like. All right. There is someone I'm working with. This person na go na ka mo morago. Ke na every time e ga ka morago one reminder. Ke motho mongwe le I don't like whenever in the program, but it's very important. We are saying to all the speakers, please keep your speeches to 3 to 5 minutes. All speakers, ne? So that you don't accuse me to say, no, he was referring to someone. So all speakers, please, 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Prof, for welcoming us. We move right along. And the next item here, very important to know the purpose of the day. Because some of you, or some of us, might be here and see the station that listens to the people. The only station that listens to the people. I'm emphasizing that. I know there are other sister stations that are here, but this is the only station that listens to the people. Radio TEF. The only station that listens to the people. The best of the best. I'm about to come to call on stage Ms. Mawetu Mapulani is the chairperson of the board of directors. Chairperson of the board of directors. Selector, if you can't play the nice one, we won't get our checks. This is the chairperson. We'll approve. Ms. Mapulani. All right. Ukarwa mutse boratani. All right. I like it. Take the velocity up, selector. All right. You can't stop that dance. All right.
Tovela. I give Guerabodzi Tovel. E Kauniana, Leresia Jewisha Belu. Tovela Batuarish. Ari. Like a Tomegele Bure Nswareliana, Gerata or Givolele Poleloas Arish. Gijogi. Fetorile ga nyane ka bua go se ya hlapi ke ne nnete ya gore bontši polelo ya gešo re ka no be re kwa re kwešiša mo e sa kgonegego ba ba tsene go sekolo bokaone go feta nna ba tla nthusha a ke bontšhe mo gore a se nna Miss Mapulana ke emetše Miss Mapulana o nthumila ro sa swere ke tše dingwe ke fetiše molaetša nna ke nna Sefoka ina la galase ya Afrika ke le lethatanyana mara le netang go ka no gopola Sefoka se go tla ba kaone jwale tabashi magagešong ke rata gore ke tamiše batho ka moka go ya ka dikgati go tloga ka phogole kua godimo moprofesara mogalong go fihla ka wa kgati ya mafelelo ke lebogele mme professor maoto ba šetše ba le amogetše segagešo se re di dula tša moeng di bea ke mong gae ba ba kwešišago sepedi ba nkwele jwale nka se hloke ya mo tabeng yeo ka gore ba re ba le amogetše iketleng le tle le kweng ditaba tabe ke emetšego mo she seteše sa go theeletša batho ba fetše o bolelago mo gore ke sona sennoši se se theeletšang batho radio tef jwale lebaka le legolo la gore re kgobokane mo magagešo ke la gore le hono le letšatši la senyane May 2024 ke letšatši leo seteišene se sa rena sa go theeletša lena batho se ketekago mengwaga e 30 ba le ba tsene go sekolo ba tla re uninterrupted broadcast nnete ke gore ka nako la sethoma mengwaga e 30 ya go feta ba bantši ba ka no be ba se gona ke bona ba babedi ba bararo ba bagolo ba e leng gore ka nako ba be ba le gona jwale mara a ke seke ka tsena moo ba gona ba bego ba le gona ba tlo re botša ditaba nna nnete ke gore ke be ke sa le segotlane ka nako e mara ke gona le gono ke keteka le station sa rena jwale tla ke seke ka ela bokanoka lepelle ka swana le moruti tsoko wa ileng a re tšatši le lengwe a efa thero ka kerekeng a bolela sebaka se se telele batho ba fela pelo mola ba fela pelo ya ba gore ba tšwa ka o tee go fihla ebile ba felela ka moka ka kerekeng mara moruti a se gomolano fela a tšwela pele ka polelo go šetše monna o tee kua morago kua lebating go swana le monna o la eme go kua lebating kua jwale moruti o re ga a bolela a re ngwana modimo o hlogonofetše ka gore batho ka moka ba tšwile go šetše wena monna la le go kua monyako a re ga a fetola ra wa moruti nna ke nna security ke be ke emetše gore le fetše ke tswalele menyako jwale tla ke seke ka tšea telele le nna batho ba modimo ke a lelebo thank you
Pula ya midupi Pula ya midupi
Ra leboga selector ra leboga re leboge le ba ga Sefoka mantšu a mabotse ao ba boletšego a go hlweka go ile gore o tlile le confused a ke rata rena batho ba bantsho sometimes re tla ka mokgotsi mokgotsi a re mokgotsi ke re ga o na le duku a mmeropa casino gore mokgotsi ke aya wa re dress o e botšiša ka 1 hour before you leave re šaka checka dress code ke mka wa bjale ba ga Sefoka ba re tlhaloseditše gabotse a ke tshepe gore go na le motho a gakanegileng gore o tlile ka dife mo re a leboga and I was thinking about the 30 years 3 decades 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting and I was thinking and I was looking at my colleagues and the trainees at the station and I was like ba bangwe gana mo ba isego ge radio 12 and I knew gore ba isego because when we started discussing my look for the night one of them said Fifi man o tsentšhelelo tšela le meririela ya gore a ke re ba re ge isa go fahla se yona ke re isa go fahla se yona ke re oh o ra Ahmed yara rena e re gola e be le meare e be se ge se ka mahlong e dia jang e jale ka lemoga gore letšatši le ke le legolo gomme go bohlokwa gore re gatele morago re nyake ba e leng gore ba di sepetše pele gore ba tle ba re tlhalosetše tsela gore e bile jwang. So at this point we'd like to invite to the stage Radio Turf co-founder Mr. Simpiwe Mdlalosi gore ba tle ba re botse ge re gatela morago so bona ba tla ba gatela pele ba gopola gore ke ile ka tshwara meeting le mamang go a diega bjang ke kgopela re ba emišeng ka matsogo Mr. Simpiwe Mdlalosi.
Program directors, thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tobel. Well, let me take this opportunity. I think I was told it's 3 to 5 minutes, so let me try to stick to the script. So I'm just going to go through this very, very quickly, hopefully. Let me take the time to greet the university leadership. Also to greet our leaders from government in their various and different levels and spheres. Please also allow me to greet the board and management of Radio TEF. I would like to thank the organizers of this event for inviting me in particular. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity. And I know that I'm not speaking on my behalf, but I'm representing those who were there at the beginning, so to speak. I must say that, just as an aside, Bravik, when I realized that Radio TEF is celebrating 30 years, and I was part of the founders, yeah, it means I'm old, eh? I'm just saying, Bravik, it means I'm old, eh? But ladies and gentlemen, let me just take you briefly through a journey that we walked in the beginning. I will also try to put in a bit of my personal story as part of that journey, as briefly as possible. I came to the University of Limpopo as a student in 1993. At that time, I knew very little about radio. And as students, we had an SRC Department of Information and Publicity, which was called the DIP, which was responsible, amongst other things, to produce a monthly newsletter. And I used to write for that newsletter or newspaper. My article is what I would call the original Shwashwi. I used to write about things that were taking place on campus with a bit of juice, so to speak. And the DIP was under the leadership of a gentleman who is now a doctor and a professor at Wits, Professor Muzima Segwe. And I think it's important that these names get to be mentioned as part of history, because history has a way of ignoring or forgetting other people. So Professor Muzi Masego was really a very pivotal part of the formation of the radio station, because he was an SRC member that led the DIP division. And under his stewardship, we became members of what was then called the South African Student Press Union, SASPO, a body of students from campuses from all over the country that were involved in the media. At SASPO, we would get training on media and also share experiences on what each of us were doing at our own campuses. And it was through those interactions, ladies and gentlemen, that we realized that there was a gap in our campus to set up what then was to be a student radio. And through the SRC, this idea was muted, and I was fortunate really to be asked to coordinate a formation of this project called Radio TEF. And I responded positively to the call. We quickly put together a budget to buy equipment. We moved to procure the equipment, and we started to recruit talent. Interviews were done, at the SRC offices, and I sat on the selection panel with the likes of now Minister Thembi Nkadimeng, who's our current Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. She was in the SRC at the time. She sat in the interviews. And after the selection of the talent and appointment of people into different roles, I was moved from being a station coordinator to the first station manager of Radio TEF. And I was really fortunate and honored to become that station manager 30 years ago. I need to mention these names because, like I said, history has a way of forgetting some people for one reason or the other. We had a very strong team of young, talented individuals in that station. And some of the people that, I could recall in that team, it included the likes of Given Mkari, who's the owner of Capricorn FM and Power FM, the likes of Lesicha Kadiaka, Kucho Langa, the late Roni Mushoma, the late Buzani Mnguni, John Manyige, who currently is at Old Mutual and is running their education department, Abel Flo, Stanley Muremi, Ronnie the player, he was also at Tobela FM at some point, and the likes of Clayson Munyela, who is at DECO currently, Gwena Mwabelo. Those were people who were part of the original team that started Radio TEF. And I think we must give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I also thought it's important, I apologize, program directors, if I'm taking longer than the 3 minutes allocated, but I think it's important that I share this history. When we went on air in 1994, we were just a campus radio station, and I think it's important to note that. We used to broadcast from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. at night. And in 1994, the IBA, which is now ICASA, the Independent Broadcasting Authority back then, it changed to become ICASA later. They had a task of ensuring that in this country we have 3-tier broadcasting, community radio, commercial radio, and public broadcasting. They had a mandate to ensure that happens. During that period, we applied for a license for what was called a campus-based community radio station. And I remember this matter was debated thoroughly even within council at ICASA, because there was concerns from ICASA's side to say, can a radio station, which is supposed to form part of a community sector, but based on campus, really work? And we were very happy that we argued strongly for that formation. And I must say that during that period, when we applied for that campus radio station, that meant we wanted to broadcast beyond, the campus via a frequency that will reach Pulugwane. And our task was to convince the IBA that we have what it takes to do this, including getting support from the community, as just mentioned earlier. And we did it. I was part of a delegation that did the presentation to ICASA for the license that we have as Radio TEF. And in 1995, the IBA granted us a formal license to broadcast as a station. And it was only in 1995 that we started to operate as a community-based radio station that was reaching beyond the borders of our campus. And again, under a tag, which I must congratulate the current management that you kept it, the station that listens to the people. I was asked to highlight briefly on the challenges we had. With an annual grant from the SRC, it was hard really to run a radio station. We had to sell adverts, which Given Mkari was our head of sales and marketing at the time, and they did an excellent job. Talent management was also a challenge. It was not easy to manage students at the time who were volunteers. things began to be better when we offered stipends to the students because we had to enter into contractual agreements. As I conclude, I want to touch on the achievements. Our biggest achievement as a team that started Radio TEF back in 94 is that radio station which we started in 1994 is still alive today. That's the biggest compliment and achievement. And I also think it's important to mention this, that we were part of the founders of the National Community Radio Forum. I personally had a privilege of sitting on the first board of the NCRF when it was formed. I was representing SASPU nationally as well as Radio TEF. And today, NCRF continues to fight for the sector, and we were part of its formation. So Radio TEF, you can take pride and tell people that you facilitated the formation of the National Community Radio Forum. We have produced great individuals through the radio station who have gone to make it in broadcasting space nationally and internationally and in all other industries. We were truly a training ground and a breeding ground of great talent. The men and women that I have mentioned are occupying senior positions in different places where they work, and they perform special responsibilities. And some of them asked me this evening to pass a message of true gratitude for the opportunity that we were offered and honored with by the station, because this radio station, it groomed us and it made us to be the people that we are today. Before I go on and on, please allow me to wish Radio TEF 30 more years of service to our people. This is a very important platform for some of us as we keep referring back to it when we tell our personal stories. So we're very jealous about this radio station and the future and the growth of Radio TEF. And we somehow selfishly, help us to say we know how to form things and are based on a strong foundation. So what this station has done to us at a personal level, I run my own business. Every single time when people say, do you have proof that you can do something of significance, I go back where my journey begins, which is here at Radio TEF. What I want to say to the management of the station, the board members, we remain here to support this radio station in any way possible. Pula.
Ngoma ngishaya ubusuku bonke ngiyokwenza njani ngaphandle kwakho ngoma wena ngishaya ubusuku bonke.
Thank you, my selector. Thank you so much. Halala Radio TEF, halala. Ake kwirabotse, halala Radio TEF, halala. Re a go leboga ntate Simphiwe Mdlalos. We tate senikukile. Kancane hayi kakhulu, kancane. And thank you so much, and may those names indeed be recorded accurately as should be in history and in the history of Radio TEF. And as you were recounting your history, a little bit there, I started recounting my own. I started recounting, or kitseni byang mo Radio TEF. Ekere, ka le bona leina la gona. Ka re ke yo ntate o, o ntsentshitse mo Radio TEF. Ke nyako ya print media, a ra wena tla mo. And then I'm going to continue to take a step back and invite the people that were there, that have been there for Radio TEF, to take their steps forward to tell us the history of Radio TEF, how far they had to go, how hard they had to fight to keep the lights on. It's not all radio stations that have been founded in the past 30 years that still have the lights on. But Radio TEF said, no, we will continue to be the station that listens to the people. And so at this point, I'd like to invite to the stage Mr. Luba Ramacholo. He's a former station manager at Radio TEF. He's not the man I was talking about, but his contribution is significant. Ntate Ramakgolo, the mic is yours.
Brenda fasi ingathathi kuma yonke xa ngindibisa nonke ndithi amanga
Thobela ke nna Luba Ramakgolo. Program Director, I think this is a setup. Why did you allow those who were putting together this program to make it a point that I speak after Mr. Mdlalosi? But because I work for the radio, I am the radio. I will start with a commercial break. Ka letšatši la mathomo ge ba Radio TEF ba thoma go ba radio ya go gašetša setšhaba, go gašetša community. Ke be ke le gona le ge ke be ke sa šomele Radio TEF. Ke be ke duma go šomela Radio TEF, ke lebeletše mathadinthako a bona ba šomi ba Radio TEF. Jwale ke tlo bololla gore ba bo Simphiwe Mdlalosi ba be ba le ka di-officing tša SRC, ba founa ka phone ya SRC, ba founa ba tšhentšha mantswi, ba re ke nna mamanyana mo Mamtintane. Motho wa ka studiong a re dumediša. E le ge ba be ba ruta batho gore ba founele Radio TEF. Program Director, we are ably led by our academic principals and captains of industry. We are led by the political principals. And I would like to ask you to join me in the majesty of this moment, for I feel honored to be part of this memorable event. Nna ke šomile bjale ka station manager sa Thobela FM. Se be se ka se direge ge nka be ke sa ka šoma TEF FM. Ke bolela ke kwešiša ka Sepedi ke re TEF FM o nkgwete ya dinkgwete, gape rena o re šogile, re tšweletše re le malatlhakgati jwale re sa tsebe selo ka tša kgašo. Ra ithutela tše tša bogaši re šoga ke bo Professor Musi le mogala bo mongwe a rata di-Scorpions, Ntate Mabuse le ba bangwe. Ba re fa sebaka sa go ba baetapele. Le gone jwale history e sa tseba gore nna ke bile station manager se sennyane go feta di-station manager ka moka ka nako ela ya kgale kua go SABC. Ka gore le gone jwale ge le ka kgopela gore ke lefe CV ya ka gone jwale le tla le humana kua godimo ge ba bolela ka work experience e thoma ka Radio TEF. Le tla ba le mašaedi ge le ka se nyake go bethelela Radio TEF matsogo. Ge ke be ke kgopela gore le bethele Radio TEF matsogo, ke be ke re kgane le tla betha matsogo le tišitše fela gone taba. Empa ka gore le kwešiša Sekgowa, le nyaka gore ke re go lena ke re a reverberating round of applause. A go tshwenye ka gore mo radio TEF ya ke kwešiša ebile e tsamaišana le tša thuto. Ge ba be ba re ke tla ke bule molomo mo ba nkgopoditše gore le ge ke be ke dira dissertation ya ka ya ge ke be ke dira MBA, bragging rights, ke ngwadile ka radio TEF. So today marks a significant milestone in the history of our community. Because indeed 30 years ago, a humble yet ambitious endeavor was born, Radio TEF. And as we gather to commemorate its 3 decades of existence, we will not only reflect on its longevity, but we will reflect on how this instrument will continue touching the lives of our people, changing them for the better. Re ile ge re fitla mola Radio TEF ra humana o kare bagaši ka moka ba beng ba le gona ba be ba bona o kare Radio TEF e swanela go compete le bo Metro FM goba ke yona Metro FM ye nnyane ya mo gae. Ra swanela go ba gopotša gore Radio TEF is a community radio station. Ke mo rileng ra ya sepela re ipega mo mešate mo dintoneng re ba botša gore se ke sebetša sa lena sa go tlhabolola maphelo. Re tlhalosa moano o gabotse wa to inform, educate and entertain. Re tlhalosa gore na ge re re Radio TEF is the station that listens to the people. You will understand that this radio station did evolve from amateurish broadcast days, and today we are talking of digital inventions. And I am sure that this powerful tool, this powerful radio station, is also playing in this space. I will be failing in my capacity and also in my responsibility if I don't honor, the great minds that came before us, the great minds that actually paved the way for us. E do ba ke sena maatla a gore ke le kgopela gore le dire standing ovation mara le tla dira tšatši le lengwe a go tshwenye. Mara batho ba go swana bo sempiwe modlalose ge le ka se ba bethele matsogo le kgopela ke nna le tla ba le le mašaedi. Thank you very much. Le tla mo fa tissue mo ka re ka mona o phumula dikeledi. Tswelang pele go producer o ka mokgwa o le ra gore nako e fedile. Le tla blame a program director. Ditaba e sa le tše dintši fela go fedile nako ya go di anega. Ore ge nkabe e se be Radio TEF bolu ba ramakgolo e ka be ba kile ba ba di general manager tša Metro FM, 5 FM and Good Hope FM. E ka ba kile ba kgona go ya dinageng tša ka ntle ka kua bo Los Angeles ba ya go bolela di-conference tša radio. Ba batla ba tšere kae confidence. Rena confidence ya rena re tšere mo TEF FM. Jwale ke holofela gore le sa tlo tšwela pele go dira ka mokgwa le swanetšeng gomme la tšwela pele go serva setšhaba, la tšwela pele go ruta le go sedimoša setšhaba. O gole wena Tef FM. Ke reale ke le leuba la modikolo ga phaswana bo moreku se sa sedi sa mmameudi a tšhidi ya marumo. Ba re nna ke pholo setlhatlha le magaga šakeng a ke tsene ka go gapiwa badiše ba ka tla ba nkgapa le dirole. Ke a leboga.
A reverberated round of applause for Mr. Luba Ramakgolo. Re a leboga le re tlhomphile le maloba re le biditše gore le tle le kgathe khekhe le rena le batheletši ba rena Paledimol la re tlhompha la ba gona le mo mohla le fihlile re a leboga. At this point I'd like to kindly request the speakers gore ba tlhokomele nako. Ra tseba 30 years ka gona re ditaba tša gone be tše dintokwana. Ifela re a kgopela gore re hlomphe nako. I'd like to call ke biletše ka pele ka ntate ka re ntate o ke rile ke re ke ya print media a re hei tla mo wena o tlo gaše. Ngwaga wa mathomo ka se di auditioning. The second year a re wa o sa tla di auditioning last year. Itla a re ko Radio Tef. And I call him ntate because I'd like to thank many of us that were there when he served as a station manager, experienced him as a father figure, in as much as we experienced him as a manager. Reverend Fusimus Mabuz.
I'll rerun myself. Greetings to everyone that is here, distinguished guests, sponsors, advertisers, content providers, listeners, sister stations present, and those that are joining us online, and all protocol observed. Good evening. Before I start with my speech, I just want to make this observation that as they were running up and down good chamber sing, I was already there. Go campus. Kili au boot, pangwita bravos. And I'm happy that those people who were running up and down, but the Raguri station sibe gona, bang the road before ki retire. Ki khono tsena, di things tsa bona ki be station manager. Thank you very much. I just wish to say this. It's not part of my speech, but it will never be heard. Kokonape ukai. Ukai. Kokonape, I will yemele man. Lembone kokonape ne. Liababona ne. I was never on air, but Kokonape knew Kurumruti Mabuza, the station manager. She will always come around at the group yamo atwangona, but lisali spinach at the Sifa station manager. Baba sa tsebeng politics but la corruption. I say corruption. Go appreciate leadership. Appreciate leadership. I say corruption. Galileo ka Kokonape ki thabelo le bone o le sa phila ka re modimo ka ba le lena o ya pele. In 1994, as it has been mentioned, the door was opened, and then the station that listens to the people came into being. By the way, it wasn't an easy task. You heard the history from Tatem Zalose. If you look at the whole history, there were so many things that happened. But one would not be doing justice if one would not thank specifically the University of Limpopo management. When I got in, ke tla le mention if boss ya lena prof e tlo le shapa ka shamboka le khutlela campusing a isale aka tabeo na ke retire. Bo Prof Madaje, when he was still a director of the school, gave me so much support that I would sit at home and ask myself, but what is happening with Prof that is supposed to me this much? That any other thing that I needed as a station manager, he would say, hi, Muruti, Tlabon. Every time we Tlabon, Prof. And I can need in Abona. And that's why the station progressed up to this point. Yeah, Nali Posia, Prof. Mkhalong, they really supported me. And then people were saying, Professor Mkhalong wants support because I can't be a professor, principal of the university. I was an ordinary staff member. He was supporting a staff member. And I got Prof. Kamukhule, li fihlele ba botse le bona gore no ke ka ba mention gore ke ba leboga. This month, May, as it has been mentioned, marks Radotev's 30th anniversary. It is an incredible milestone. And never has Radotev been more important, valued, or recognized as it has these past few years. I heartily congratulate the management of Radotev, who took over from me, especially Mr. Mamadi, who, when I left, took over. It's a pity that we were disrupted by COVID. We would have achieved a lot, but COVID then came, and then things did not go well. Although we forced ourselves to be on air, having asked the same people that I mentioned that we wanted to be on air. Barlona, the country is closed. Mari, bona ba le ba tswallang country ne, ki bona ba dirileng gore go be le Radotev, the ANC. Because ki ona ene imathali bontate Mdlalose, when they came in, gore no, re tla ba support. Station C must be there. Because if the ANC was not there, Radotev maybe Tate Mdlalose would not have been there. I'm just imagining what would have happened if, for example, the National Party won the elections in 1994. There would be no Radotev. But because proper leadership got elected, and then Radotev now can boast over the 30 years of existence. As a medium licensed to serve the community, Radotev, without any interruption, has continued to do just that. There was no time when Radotev was not on air, except when there was load shedding. And that was above our powers. But through and through, it was on air. During times of crisis, Radotev informs and unites. It allows listeners to vote their concerns and provides them companionship as the station that listens to the people. However, before I go sit down. It will be fair for me to mention few notable challenges. Allow me to point out some of these challenges, because every time I meet with Mr. Mamadi, I ask him, have those challenges been sorted? And he says to me, not quite. And I stand here and I feel bad about that. Some of the challenges in this journey to reaching 30 years was challenging. Radotef is faced with challenges ranging from lack of funds to pay good stipends. But then you ask the people who are working there, how much do they get? It's a challenge. I don't know how it can be sorted. But I wish, as an elder statesman, when I speak about those challenges, there are ears that are listening. Madam Delos, pay back, pay back, pay back, so that the volunteers there, which I never wanted to use the term volunteer, because to say you're a volunteer, then people then no longer do a perfect job. You simply tell people you are at work here, but then when you say that, you must pay them properly. Yeah, I spoke about funds. Hey man, there's this historic debt, yes, Centec. When I arrived there, we're owing more than 200,000, I think, when I arrived there. And then I said to the staff members, we shall continue to pay Centec, because we don't want the station to be closed when we have so much support from management of the university. And we continue to pay Centec. Can you believe me? Until today, we haven't yet finished the debt. We have not yet started paying for the monthly fees for Centec. From an old man, I request that please help the station pay off the debt. Please help them to pay off the debt. It is really hard, to be honest with you. To every time you get reminded that you are owing. I asked Mr. Mamadi, as we were talking, because I left the station in his hands. I asked him, what is Centec saying? He says, I am crossing my fingers. They want to close before today. They wanted to switch us off before today. That's how terrible it is. They want their money. Although we're paying, other stations are not paying, but they don't threaten them as they threaten Radotef. So I hope we shall get some funds from the previous station managers. Tatele Uba. You know how I supported you when you had Radotef. Please support the station now. It's your chance. It can't be Dadem Dlalose only. It can't be him alone. In fact, all of you, I think I will take my time off and move around and go to where you're working and collect the money personally. Because when we say we need money, you seem not to understand us. So I'll come there in the church we have this list where you write your name and you write how much. I will have such a list. I'll come because we really need that money. But despite all these challenges that the station continues to face, there are also achievements from the thick and thin of what is taking place there. Can you believe me that the station has moved from analog? Radio TF has moved from analog to digital. That's and if we go to Radio TF now, you'll see the new equipment there. It looks nice, eh? It's beautiful. We still need some more of such. Now the station is available online. Like I'm talking now, I'm online. Live stream, and that's why I'm taking so long. The station, through this live stream, can be accessed throughout the world. It can't be just South Africa. Throughout the world, you'll be able to listen to the station that listens to the people. As I conclude, allow me to extend my humble request to the university management. I've already touched on that. The station needs to have permanent posts in positions. As I wrote my letters, I think I wrote about 10 of them when I was still a station manager, to show that we need a permanent programs manager, that we need a permanent news editor, and we need a permanent technical manager. Because you cannot run a station with people that you say are volunteers. They should be permanent so that the station could run professionally. Professor Mkhubwe, you are my friend. Ne? I will write those letters that I wrote to your predecessors, right, and bring them to you so that we can have these positions filled up. I will submit to Prof. Mkhubwe. I will do that. Because it pains me that having written so many letters, when I left, it was like forgotten. It can't be. Are you standing here because you want me to sit down? The station only has 2 positions that are permanent. It is the station manager and an administrator. It can't be. I hope that my plea will be received with favorable consideration. Prof. Mautu, this one is directed at you as the ultimate, at the faculty. I am requesting humbly, on my knees, to say, Prof, assist the station to get programs manager, a news editor, and a technical manager permanently. And that will be good for us. And I'll be happy. In fact, following the tree, plant that tree, Prof, before you leave. Plant that tree at Radio TF. You'll be remembered. That's why I'm here today. I'm remembered for the tree that I planted there. All thanks to everyone for the immense pillar of support to the station. I think I'm done. I have no further words. Lest I become like that minister who was preaching to the security guy, advocate. And I still want to preach to you, all of you here. I am humbly happy. I'm saying humbly because if I'm not humble about my happiness, I may end up being arrogant, and it's not allowed in the scriptures. Mr. Hobison, you were there. I don't know why you sit there as if you were not part of it. You were there. I was already there. You remember? Gili Pravos. And you were there. I know that you were there. So please, Liwena from marketing, ne? Now I'm getting all of you to do something. From marketing, you can just have 2 positions, right? We'll make them permanent and pay them from marketing through the budget of marketing. At least you can take news editor because that is serious, right? And a programs manager because the station without a programs manager cannot run properly. Mr. Mama Digilopele to go Tate Komisane, right? And Kamuhone never stronger on about Batadira. And your contribution is more than diamonds to the station. Continue to support the station. Help it grow further for the next 30 years. And at that time, I'll be the ancestor of Radotef. 30 years from now, I'll be an ancestor. But please assist them. It's your station. It belongs to the university. It does not belong anywhere else. The university must take it upon themselves. Because Prof. Mohubuya, at one point, as I was moving around campus asking for money, there was this talk, and I hope it can come from your mouth. I know you. You are my friend, right? People asking this question. Radio Tefuking. Dadum talos. But go campus about Radio Tefuking. Go campus about Radio Tefuking. And it pains me. Because Radio Tefuking. Kari University is a license holder. So how can you ask Radio Tefuking? Because Radio Tefuking University. Thank you very much for your attention. And Gabatsi, Lababona Gir. Msumung, Kikrachi Yaore, Nebanyaka 100% go class ya media ethics, Abai Huicha, that's why I'm Diraso. But all the same, I thank you. And I go the moving, by the way. I go board. And I tell my kids, good, that is my student. Kishaina Galina, by the way. Skanagano Guragishai, Kishaina Kudu. Galilebo.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rev. All right. It's Harga Mokosi lecture. Just to understand, my former lecturer, they give a time like a chaba or a utlare. Thank you so much, Rev. And I understand because this room is full of people that their profiles, if we read them, we can't finish. And I would like to humbly request that we keep to time because they are lecturers, they take all their period. So please, can we not take full period today? And try to be as short. But I understand it's a celebration and I don't blame you and I blame you and I don't blame you and I blame you. All right. You mentioned the issue of stipend. For the first time, Reverend, I got a stipend. I bought a pizza and I was declared the best boyfriend in campus. And it can only be because of Radio TEF. You could have seen me walking in gate 2, hey, with the confidence, because we're getting paid. And for the first time, Mr. Mdalos, I was getting paid in my life. Something get in with my tau, you know? Was Radio TEF, the only station that listens to the people. I'm making this example because the next speaker, like many of them, their profiles are huge, and you guys have inspired us. Many is mixed generation. Some of these people are looking up to you, and some are blessed to share this house with you. But I suggest that after we go and tell this person as we mingle, because the next speaker that I'm talking here is also my former lecturer, whom, because we read your profiles and we don't come and tell you, But I was inspired when I found out that she studied at Chicago in the United States of America. And I want Prof to understand that you guys are touching us, Mr. Mtalos, and you might not realize, Mr. Luba. Because when I got a chance to go study in the United States, we went to Chicago. As we were taking the tour of the city, I saw Chicago Tribune. I said, my Prof studied there. But you don't know, Prof, what that did. I saw Chicago Tribune. It's a media house. That inspired me to start a newspaper called Limpopo Tribune that remains the eyes and the ears of the people of Limpopo as far as news and information is concerned. But the inspiration, see where it comes from. So there are so many stories that if we can talk and tell, we won't finish. Ladies and gentlemen, I was gonna tell Prof this story of Chicago because the last time I was shooting a documentary with her in Cape Town of NSFAS. She was the executive producer, I was the director of it. She is now coming on stage as the former chairperson of the board of directors. Ladies and gentlemen, Prof Musi, selector. Don't jealous, she's got taste, eh? Okay, Prof. The only Prof that can dance at UL.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to show you that I can still go down. I can still do a get down. Okay. It's so humbling to stand in front of the radio turf crowd, the University of Limpopo. Radio turf, I used to teach this. A community radio station is supposed to serve the community. So Radio Turf serves the university community and the outlying villages such as Radio Turf and all the surroundings. But I'm not here to give the lecture. In fact, as I come here, I realize they should have put me first. Because now my speech is becoming, old. They've said everything, but that I wanted to say, especially Reverend Mabuza. 30 years of existence. Before I even get there, I salute you all. I also, like Reverend Mabuza, didn't like the fact that people were getting stipends, about 200 rand, 400 rand a month. And looking at the conditions, the situations of our students, there was no NSFAS when I was there. So it was a terrible situation. I felt it for them. So I had to convince them, be like a reverend, and say, you are doing it for the Lord. And it still worked. So that was 30 years. Later on, the department, we became the Department of Media Studies. We had developments such as Radio Turf was growing this side, and on the other side, the Department of Media Studies, of which I was the head, was growing. Then we had people like the late Dr. Cooper being the acting station manager of Radio Turf. And together, maybe he was outsmarting me because he led me to believe that we need to adopt Radio Turf as a laboratory for the Department of Media Studies. And I guess I was gullible, but I'm not sorry. I don't regret it. The late Dr. Cooper was previously at the SABC. So he brought whatever he knew to us. Then we got to a point where we thought, no, we need to have a full-time station manager. And we got Mr. Buzani Mguni. And throughout, we were talking about making the station better. And clever as I was, I bought Mr. Mguni's idea of having him as a full-time station manager. Because now he was also contributing to this new Department of Media Studies. So I could just see development. So the Department of Media Studies cleverly adopted Radio Turf. So our students were doing practicals at Radio Turf on a full-time basis and being evaluated by people at Radio Turf. At the same time, we were gaining because our students were not only doing practical, others were working there. So you could give pocket money to the poor students by employing them at Radio Turf. But then guess what? The proudest, and I want to congratulate Radio Turf for this. I am still proud of this. We had master's dissertations. Firstly, honors dissertations. Students chose topics at Radio Turf, from whatever was happening in Radio Turf. They would write on programming. They would write on economic challenges of Radio Turf. I can tell you one here, Maklabi. Here's a nice topic, and I am seriously reading it so that you see. I'm only reading those that I have supervised. Challenges facing women in leadership positions in community radio stations. That's a topic. A case study of Botlokwa Community Radio, Kasi FM. Radio Turf has contributed immensely to the education of media studies students in the 30 years it has been around. And this is an education tool. Not only a media and communication tool, but it's an education tool also to the students. My message to the university, including the representatives here, Professor Madaje, Professor Mautu, and all of you who are from the university, please continue playing the significant role you have played in the education of the Black child, in the community, through the board and skills training. So just as an aside, I was dreaming all these years about a community television station. And I've thrown it there, thrown it there, thrown it there. Well, I'm talking again I was in the media studies. We have, the Department of Media Studies has over 400 short films. And we need to put a community television station there. The proof Radio Turf. Radio Turf has shown you what we can do for students and what they can do for the community. I thank you.
Thank you, Prof. A round of applause, please. Thank you so much. That was a technical error, Prof. I'll never do that. Don't want to go back to school. I finished my degree. Thank you. All right, we move right along. I'll always do a kind reminder, but also bear with me those two items. They are lecturers and they must take their period, and I agree, but they must not, but then I agree. So ladies and gentlemen, Prof, you produced a lot of people. If you can come with a list, the list is endless. I saw Mr. Marikana Machila, the business manager of Tobal FM, Munganalonele and Palapala. We appreciate your presence. And when Prof is reading your thesis, I remember when you take us on a trip to Jozi for the Gender Summit. We appreciate you. I see other sister stations, they came to support Radio TEF. It's very important. Mahodi FM is also broadcasting live from here. It deserves a round of applause. And I'm going to acknowledge everyone as I see you. I also see that we have got the station manager of Mutse Community Radio Station, Mr. Lobotz is there. Sister stations, I'll just throw in there. Short one. If my technical is ready, right? The next item, ladies and gentlemen, on our program is going to be a documentary. Documentary, like Mr. Mdaloz and all speakers they've mentioned, is just a short story that I was embarrassed to go to a funeral in Mpumalanga of Babum Kulu Jabulani, whom when they read this obituary, they said, Babum Kulu Jabulani wazalwa, wazalwa, wazalwa Babum Kulu Jabulani wapila, wapila, wapinda washona. That means Babum Kulu Jabulani has never done anything in this world. Today we are here because Radio TEF has done a lot and has made most of these people that are here, and we'd like to play you a short documentary, and we hope you enjoy it as you reflect, as it take you back up until now.
Thank you for choosing the station that listens to the people. Radio TEF 103.8 FM.
My name is Professor Sheila Onkaetse Musi. I joined Radio TEF way back in 1995. Yeah. In the linguistics department. So we infused what we studied into our courses in media studies. And the rest is history. The department developed up to a point where it is now called media studies, and it developed to a point where it was now producing honors degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral degrees. But then here's the nice one. Then we realized we arrived at a place where there was Radio TEF. And this could be used for practicals for our students. Now in Radio TEF, because we were concerned about community development, we started hiring people from the community. So we decided even our students could do practicals there. So we used it as a practical tool to develop students as well as people from the community. I would like to congratulate Radio TEF for the 30 years that they have reached in broadcasting. But most of all, I would like to thank Radio TEF for the contribution to the human resource management in the media through providing constant practical experience to our students in media studies, but not only to the students and to the community of Mankweng, who we absorbed in there, and they came in without degrees, but guess what? People became interested in registering in the university. I can name some of them are administrators at the university as I speak, because of the admin work that they learned where at Radio Turf. Congratulations.
Hello, Tobela. My name is Isaac Mashila. I joined Radio Turf in 2011. Yeah, I think it was on the 11th of November, 2011. So that is why on the 11th of November, I keep on saying, I celebrate radio. I celebrate my life. November 2011. Then that's when I got the opportunity. I was doing the magazine show at that time. Ari Tsusheng, it was the name of the show. It was between 9 and 12. Yeah, now you call it Ari Tsusheng, but by then it was called Are Kareng. Yeah, so Are Kareng was done by a lot of people. But doing that show, it also gave me a number of opportunities, because I remember immediately during festive season, the station awarded me, or they gave me an opportunity to present a number of festive shows. And that's when, there's this guy called Isaac Mashila. So, hey, man, continue to shine, and I see you are wearing beautiful t-shirts. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Best wishes, Modumalo Akeleche, Radio Tefu, and continue to compete.
Lina la ka ke Sandile Dikgare ba bantši ba ntse ba bela ka man of the match na ke šomile Radio Turf ka 2014 go fihla ka 2021 ke tekano ya mengwaga e lekanang e šupa fela under the leadership ya Reverend VD Mabuza, Mr. Mamadi ga mmogo le Mr. Raymond Mojapelo o ile gore ka nako e o ile a sepela a ya Rhodes University mo ile gore ile a šoma bela ka station manager gona ko Rhodes. Ke šomile bela ka chief producer ge Radio Turf e thoma go ntšea ka 2014 ka March e be ke le chief producer gomme a se tše nako ka lebaka la gore Raymond Mojapelo o ile a sepela mo station se. Ke nagana gore ebile tekano ya kgwedi tše pedi goba tše tharo gomme ka thoma go swara maemo a programs manager as the acting programs manager o fitlhela ebile ke fiwa maemo a o semmušo. Tekano ya mengwaga e ke šomileng ke nagana gore go bile bosekudu Radio Turf ke ithutile dilo tše dintši. Se sengwe sa mathomo se le goreng ke nagana gore mohlomong batho ba ka ba sa se tsebe ke gore Radio Turf ke radio ya setšhaba, ke radio ya go tlhankela community ya university ebile e tlhankela gape le community ye le gore ke ya Mankweng le metse ya gausi. Se sengwe se ke se tsebang ka Radio Turf ke gore mošomo mongwe wa mogologolo ke le gore ke a tseba gore ke se le gore ebile tema e kgologolo e le gore Radio Turf ya e kgatha mo setšhabeng ke go ruta batho sealemoya go tlhatlha baithuti ba university ya Limpopo gape le go tlhatlha baithuti ba ile gore ba tswa mo metseng ya mo gausi. Ke nana gore ke karolo e kgolo e le gore Radio Turf ya e dira e le gore ke a e bona ya tlhaelela mo mafelong a mangwe a mantši go ba go dialemoya tše dingwe tša mo gae. Tšatšing le lekgone ke le monna ka sebaka se ka lebaka la Radio Turf ka baka la gore e nkgodišitše go be gona dilo tše dintši tše be ke sa di tsebe e fela ka baka la Radio Turf ke ithutile dilo tše dintši go fitlhela ebile ke ba mo SABC ke ka fa le lekgone le Radio Turf pele ka Radio Turf a itšwele pele o gola. The most important thing e le gore Radio Turf le bašomi ka moka ba tshwanela o e lebala ke gore le se la lebala gore lena le setiši sa go ruta baithuti gore ba itsebe sealemoya le go matlafatša community at large. Ke a leboga.
Ke Malasela ke khatha merumo Turf ke lakaletša Radio Turf mathatsela mathogonola e fetša 30 years. Nna ke theletša ka tša sports ntse dimša ka tša sports e re ga re mo mošomong e ra e gola.
My name is Grace Masuk. I'm a vendor on the streets of Mankweng. I love listening to Radio Turf because it educates, it entertains, and it informs me about the economy, the things happening around, sports, everything. I'm wishing it a happy birthday when it turns 30. Happy!
Ke nna le khosi la Mankweng wa gore ga dieta mo gate 2 mo ke rokelang ona leina la business yaka ke good and fast shoe repair theta radio tef ka mehla theta radio tef re fa tshedimošo e nngwe e ntši kudu e le goreng e re ke lebeletse yona theka tshedimošo re a golega bjale ke a e dira ke a e lakaletša matlhatsi le matlhonolo ge e fetša 30 years bjale ke re o yona radio tef a e gole o gole
ke bakwelano botlhoko old age and disability center ka motlhatlhaganya barati le bathegi ba radio tef
re theeletša manane wa segagešo le ntrometsele
mananeo a ruta a fatloša a sedimoša
radio tef e re fa mmino wa setšo le wa sedumedi ka gore yalo re lakaletša matlhatsi le matlhogonolo ge e fetša mengwaga e 30 happy birthday radio tef
Tobela le ka ye batheletši nna ke nna kokonape ke dula gana mogaka mamo ke nna kokonape wa ga mogašwa la sekgowa ke nna edwina ga mogašwa koko ba nthompha ke dio ba nape edwina mogašwa gana mogakama ke nna motheletši o mogolo wa ka mo radio tefe ke rata radio tefe ka tsela e mmakatšang radio tefe ke rata ge e ta mo lenaneong le la mesong ka sontaga la go gaša ke pulane thema la sefapanong ge go eta lona mo gona ke thakana thogo ka gore ke rata tša bodumedi kudu ka gore le re thoba matswalo ke rata gape le lenaneo la ditaba ba ntse ba re gašetša ditaba ba re botša tša meso le manthapa ma le gore na naga ya borena e togile bjang re phela bjang re kgona go tseba gore na re mo kae bjalo ngwaga o radio tefe ya rena 103.8 e fetša 30 e le gona ke no rata go e lakaletša mathata le mathogonono gore a e tšwele pele e gole e re golele le bagaši ba yona ka moka modimo a ba bee letsogo ba tšwele pele ba re gašetša go ya ka go sa feleng.
Hello everyone, my name is Mkoli Sinkuna, a student at the University of Limpopo and a member of Enictus UL, where we have a lovely, beautiful relationship with Radio TEF. We are a student social organization where we have a slot at Radio TEF where we teach the community about entrepreneur skills and leadership skills. We would like to wish Radio TEF a happy 30th birthday.
Belo ka mitlhe magagesho a sono tšwela pele go tlala madiba gomme madiba a re go tlala go pseng ga ona re bona ka go dira toka a šutelela madibana nna ka lebitso ke Karabo wa ga Mothapo bontši ba ntse ba ka Sticker the Slender Boy ke tšwa ka kua ga Mothapo ka kua ga Thoka gomme leeto la ka le Radio TEF le thomile ka ngwaga wa 2019 mo lenaneng la baswa ke bokamoso ke ithutela tša bogaši go ba go fihla ka ngwaga wa 2020 ge Radio TEF ba bona bokgoni bja ka gomme ba nthwala jalo ko mongwe wa bašomi ba Radio TEF magagesho pele gona ke kgale di bona gae di a tšwa di a go bonana.
I am Happy Kumalo, presenter at Lekgotla la Dipoledišano Radio TEF. I joined the station under the program called Media Studies Program. As you can see, I am visually impaired and I was welcomed with a warm love and I love working here. The family is really amazing. I would love to wish Radio TEF a happy birthday on its 30 years of broadcasting without any interruption. Radio TEF, the station that listens to the people.
Tobel, nna ke Tshepo wa ga Mojaki, ke mogaši le motšweletši wa lenaneo la Ntometsebe mo go Radio TEF. My journey with Radio TEF started when I was doing my final year in Media Studies, where I joined Radio TEF Media Studies program, in which I was training as a news reader. Fast forward, Radio TEF held auditions where I auditioned and became one of the successful candidates. And now, Radio TEF absorbed me as a news and current affairs anchor. Bjalo ka ge Radio TEF e fetša mengwaga e 30, ke rata go ilakaletša mahlatse le mahlogonolo. Ke re tšwela pele go ba sekgwari sa batšweletši ba bagaši ba hlwahlwa. Happy birthday, Radio TEF.
My name is Makwena Mamadi, the station manager of Radio TEF. I joined the station in 2013. When I joined the station was still using the analog studio that was donated by the First Minister of Communication, Paulo Jordan, in 1994. And then we applied for studio upgrade from MDDA, Media Development and Diversity Agency, and our application was approved. And then the new studios, state-of-the-art studios were installed. And then now the station sounds bigger and better. And then the new studios have assisted us to continue with the training of our media studies students. You'll remember that we are training students from the program of media studies of the University of Limpopo and people from the community. So the state-of-the-art studios have assisted us as the station to train our people, to train people from the community and people from the university. Well, our future plans is to house all our staff members under one roof. You will remember that we are scattered all over the university. There's a C block, and then my office is here at K block. There's also office at technical services. So the plan is to house everyone under one roof so that we can have one building for Radio TEF and everyone will just go there on a daily basis, so that even when people want to see the station and the presenters will go into that particular building.
Hala, la Radio TEF, hala, la. Are, Radio TEF, are. Hala, la 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting, halala. Re gatela pele ka lenaneo la rena nako e jile ke di mouse. Le starter jela di tlo thamaja la sasa ka re le di jela. Se re tlo gopela tswetswe bagolo. Only 3 minutes moving forward, but definitely a special thank you to the UL marketing department, to all of the participants in the documentary, the colleagues. It is the story of Radio TEF, and I believe it was put together beautifully. So a shout out and a special thank you for that. And as you know, some things did some together. Together. So I was at the back changing, and then the phone goes ding ding ding. And then I see a message. You know some messages you don't want them. You're like, Barry, you look lovely today. We don't gatekeep black businesses. So a special thank you and a special mention to the lady who did my makeup. Her name is Dolora Padu. I don't see her, but she's with us. Dolora Padu, she's the owner of Hair Bunny. You can check out her work on Instagram. It's at hairbunny_bridal and at hairbunny_SA. Or you can check out her work go TikTok. It's Dolo_Wamiriri. Thank you so much. At this point, we'd like to call ICASA. By ICASA with a message of support. I'm going to be playing a game called timekeeping. I read 3 minutes. By ICASA, to the stage, please.
Raloga DJ Trovela Ralocha Legay Rona. Our legitima garbarly 3 minutes, and otherwise, what long go. Our lampona said no mutili, Tono feature, Chacha 1, 2, 3, and a miller feature. Let's go. MC. Let me start by acknowledging Batova, the founders of this radio station. The board members, yeah, ba ba gona jale ebile re a tsebana ke a bona ke ba ba dutšeng mo le bontate Mabuza re a leboga for a job well done. Nna ka lebitso ke nna Kabelo Thelele. I come from ICASA. ICASA is the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa. Ke bona ba ba fang batho di license ebile ke bona ba ba monitorang compliance with this license. I think the starting point is to acknowledge gore bana 30 years ke nako e telele. And ba bangwe in this room are na yona 30 years here. So this is a big milestone near this radio station. Na re be teleng matsogo. Motho mongwe this August occasion. It happens to coincide with yet another August occasion, the 30 years of the celebration of our democracy. So this is a befitting way to celebrate that 30 years of this democracy. And the 29, what we are going to do, we are going to do the right thing. Amanda. Na salaka itikanya na kwa dipolitiki mara ke itla mo I just remember that Mabuza gore gape this institution is known for politics and o ka re tabe o ka re chabela ke bone ka re le la tshwaranyana ntate Mabuza le ntate Mdlalo se ka kwa Sasco ba itshwere nyana mara ke kule one le slogan se sengwe re se bolele sa dipolitiki mara ke feitse nna ka kwa dipolitiki ke paletšwe ba re long live Radio TEF, long live viva Radio TEF, viva gape nna re tšhabile sekolo re kwele batho ba bolela mo ba re di-PhD di-masters di-thesis nna re tšhabile sekolo le tla re tshwarela but nonetheless, the occasion is for Radio TEF, and I think from an ICASA point of view, it's important to mention this happens, this 30-year celebration happens at the time when a lot of community radio stations in this country, we are losing a lot of community radio stations, non-compliance. But ICASA is all radio station, ICASA is only the radio station. This thing is simple on how you must stay on air. And I think Radio TEF is the best example on how to stay on air for 30 years for that matter. So, and I also want to make an allegation, or Radio TEF, it's the oldest radio station in this province. And the second, if not the third, oldest community radio station in this country. Have you noticed that thing? So this is a big milestone. So ICASA for a job well done over the years, and you must continue doing this great job. Let's go please continue. There's this thing that Radio TEF does, which is very special. University or campus stations, Voice of Vets, UJF, Radio TEF is the torchbearer. There's this governance system that you have. We are saying this is a community radio station. So there's this special relationship and bond that this radio station has with the community. So this combination at the university and the community, it's the most beautiful concept we've ever seen. She would debate about it around how is this station governed. But it looks like it's a perfect model. If we had to implement it everywhere else, can it ensure the sustainability of this community broadcasting sector? Ke kgopela gore o mongwe a ngwale thesis about this thing. I get na re chabile school. O mongwe a die topic mola Professor Mmusi mola they will see to finish. Re ba supervisor. Ntate Mabuza ge le nyaka yo nngwe a ba tla le thusha mola ka go supervisor. I think in closing, because of this model that Radio TEF has presented, I think we need to have a conversation, a leadership. And I'm not seeing him. we need to have a robust discussion on how do we take this sector forward. Yes, it has existed for at least over 40 years. In 1993, Radio Bush. So for over 30 years we've had this sector, but we need to take it forward. Because ke kwele wa re radio Thobela FM utswa batho go no ya street they don't take ba utswa ba di o thieletša ba re re ka utswa mang nas ba re o ne motho ka kwa ba re ke madikana majila ro mutswa kore ba lebile ba sa swa ba di o taba re nyaka station manager himself ro tša motho re mo dia station manager kore ba tlo tla ba do just staff ka moka. This is something that we need to talk about. Go boletše ka taba engwe important ya gore go ne le sekoloto sa Centec sa a very house fail, it's bottomless. There was a time where this sector community broadcasting, it used to lobby. Iloba mmusho to say or changing this, changing that. Leona gore ikasa e tle e be gona, by the way. It's because of the contribution of the sector. So we need that militancy back. Or no, what is it that can be done in this digital space to take this thing forward? So that, I don't know, so to the board members that are sitting here, you need to take it forward. And Tate Mamadi, the station, the studio, well done. But you need to take it forward, please. Take it forward, and I think this radio station is more than capable of leading that agenda of taking this community radio station into the next 30 years. Oh, ke mmona ko mo botse shu ke a leboga.
Re a leboga ke bontate Kabelo Thelele ba go tšwa ICASA. Re tlo gatela pele ka melaetša ya thekgo, messages of support. At this point, we'd like to call forth the MDDA, Mr. Sfiso Mapanga. A hand of applause, please.
Good evening. Yes, firstly, I would like to acknowledge our political and traditional leadership, academics, and the leaders of the institution. My name is Sfiso from the MDDA. MDDA is a media development and diversity agency. We are the company or the organization that is responsible for funding of everything. Okay. Okay, yeah, we've partnered with iRadio.tv, and we are proud of the station. I must say that iRadio.tv is one of the best stations in the country. That is us, the MDDA, saying so. The reason why we are saying we are one of the best is because we were created, among other things, to develop the media. And looking at the galaxy of stars that you have developed, and Professor Muisi was saying, many of the people who went through the institution are now doing well in the society. They are in big places. Yes, that is true. And we are proud for that as the MDDA. Those who know the sector will tell you that a month is a very, very long time. So now you've survived about what? 350 months or something. That's a milestone. You have to be proud of yourself. Part of the challenges, of course, like it has been said on this floor, is the Centec debt. we try where by contributing, kanyani, but we are trying. It's just that, as you know, we've got a big country and it's budgeting, but we've tried, and yeah, even with the current grant, there is something that we are going to contribute. Did I mention the studios? No, we've given you the latest digital studios, something that you can only get from commercial studios. So, yes. Yeah. Yes. I heard one of my colleagues here saying Iretotef is a Imetro Inyani. I beg to differ. It's pound for pound. They are equal. You've never seen Metro FM going down to our people. But Iretotef does, and it gives voice to the voiceless people. So for that, it is a very, very big station and a very important one. A very strategic partner of ours as we pursue immediate diversity and access to the media. Like Mr. Chelele was saying, we are marching towards the elections, and it is important to have a well-informed electorate. We are glad that people of Mankweng and surrounding areas have got a very reliable center of information. They get the news, they are entertained, and they are empowered. So it is why today we have people like Abomkari, and I believe they are plowing back to the community. That is thanks to Radio TEF. And lastly, I would like to thank your manager, Mamadi. He's a very, very good guy, and he really loves the station. And yes, Kalebo.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause again. Messages of support. Kinoko ba mpotsa ka nako ba rene nko ba botse ka re ke ba tlhobolele ba kiela ne. So I took it off gore ne re kgone go tswela pele ka nako re a leboga all the speakers. You guys are really doing well with the time. Moving right along, the next item I'm going to ask with a special announcement from Miss Makoma Ramapakela, one of the board members. A very important one, this one. Miss Makoma? Oh, she went out. Okay, not a problem. Let me, while I'm waiting for her, in the interest of time, call, as we are on the messages of support from GCIS, Mr. Tanyani Ravura. Mr. Tanyani Ravura.
Yeah, and I'm tired. Okay, as you can see, I'm not Mr. Tanyane Ravura, I'm Ms. Maputi Matatu. Radio TEF, happy birthday. You keep us in the job. You know, our great ideas, our concepts, the English we read and recitate, aitushitselo if hauna motho a ka e kwang. Mmusho wa batho ka batho a o di selo ga batho ba sa tsebe gore mmusho o diang. So as for us at the GCIS, you definitely keep us in the job. And le nna ke le ratela gore le ga ke dia memo ke le tlo comply le a tseba gore sa re se ko kae. So re a leboga man, happy birthday to another 30 years.
Yeah. As we move right along, that item I just mentioned, I'm gonna call Advocate Sefoka for a special announcement. Could you please come on stage?
Ke bua le boelela ba gaešo ka tabe nngwe nyanenyana ke rata gore ke e fetišenyana mara pele ga moo happy birthday to our radio Tef. Mengwage e masome a mararo a se metla e nne a ke tsebe gore ke tla re ke monna goba ke mosadi na mara a ke nagane gore motho wa mengwage e masome a mararo e sale mošimanyana goba ngwanenyana o gotše ge dilo di go sepelela gabotse ka 30 years o santse o bone mosadi ge e le gore monna ge e le gore mosadi o santse o bone monna o ne bana ba babedi ba bararo o nyetše mohlomong ge dilo di sepela gabotse jwale go ra gore radio wa rena e godile ke monna goba ke mosadi wena o tla kgetha o le motho gore o e sekamišetša ka lehlakore le lefeng jwale tabaši ba re ke kgale bo sele goba bo šetše bo šego fetše re nyako lokiša tabela a dia maleng sa gaešo se re tšee fofa ka mošwang ntle le mošwang a gone gore e ka fofa mabati ke a mabedi letsogo la ka la ngele le la go ja re tlo kgopela gore re thome ka tafole ya bagolo ba rena ka mo then go tlo latela e mara ga e tlo ema ka lešimelo ba le ba kwešišago polelo wa gešo ba tla nkwa ba sa kwešišego ba tla kgopela ba tla ba hlalosetša go ra gore tafole e tlo emelela pele ntše re tšwela pele ke raga e le gore ke hweditše instruction gabotse ya tšwa ka lebati lela ntle le go išitiša ke a le kgopela ke moka ba ilo tšea dijo kua ntle ba boa ba tla ka mo ba dula fase ge ba elwa ntwela ke mokana mošomo o tla be o tšwela pele.
Program directors, management ya university, Radio Tef board of directors, management wa Radio Tef le the presenters, sister stations, ladies and gentlemen, ndi madekwana. You need to have some sort of an energy to say ndi madekwana. Inyaka a lot of energy. If it was in the afternoon rather in the Masiari, you can hear in the Masiari is so light, but ndi madekwana with capital letters. Radio Tef remains firmly in place as the most loved medium. We equally celebrate men and women behind Radio Tef. The journey has not been easy, but you have stayed the course to ensure listeners access to trusted information. Some of you here, you will remember a popular song by a group, the Buggles. They used to sing a song called Video Killed a Radio Star. What a frightening song. Most of the radio presenters didn't want to play that song. Video killed a radio star. Most of them didn't want that. But however, the intimacy, immediacy, and sociability of Radio Tef remain unmatched. It is our wish that Tef Radio remain a key player in future mass media trends and the development of cultural identities and languages. As the most widely consumed form of media for decades, they have been an unrivaled source of information and entertainment. Congratulations, Radio Tef, for being on air for 10,957 days. Congratulations, Radio Tef, for being on air for more than 262,974 hours. Radio TEF is a member of NCRF, National Community Radio Forum, a forum composed by all the community radio stations in Limpopo. Is a good member or a member in good standing, complying with all the rules and regulations. Thank you very much.
All right, we carry on. Selector, I'm pushing time. Yeah, I like the way we are going out with tables. It's very nice. We move to our sponsors, the people that have made this dream come true. These people are very important and they deserve their time. So in the interest of time, I know they played a vital role, and I don't want them to fight with the Office of the Marketing of Radio TEF. I'm gonna ask only 2 minutes from you guys, because there's a lot that we can say, and you guys are sponsors, and even other sponsors that I would have not called. Just know that other sponsors that they've given, because there are a lot of sponsors. Even me, I've brought some teaspoons for you guys, so I'm part of the sponsors, but I will not speak, you understand? So the sponsors will speak on my behalf. From Road Accident Fund, I'm gonna call you with 2. From Road Accident Fund, Hanenzani Makwela, and also from MTM Hope Givers Foundation and Halfway Toyota. If we can come in the list that I've mentioned, we give each other 2 minutes, and then we move. Road Accident Fund, Ms. Makwela, and then MTM Hope Givers Foundation and Halfway Toyota for Ways. Selector, as they are coming. All right, Selector, as they are coming, they will be studying from Road Accident Fund. The time is yours.
Tabela, ndi madekwana. Rikolibuwa chipinga ichinone charafuwa chone. Realebuwa Radio TEF. The station that listens to the people. As a Road Accident Fund, we congratulate you for the 30 years celebration. Happy Releva Road Accident Fund. Retlisali message wa road safety. Waori le naba tele cheba Radio TEF. Kudu ba le berekisang tsela ya R71. Mo bontsi ha batho ba ba sepelang ka maoto ba loba maphelo a bona. Let's obey the rules of the road, and your trip should end with rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Road Accident Fund. Ke aus Hanetsani Makwela, re a leboga. At this point, we'd like to call on more of the sponsors that have been very supportive of Radio TEF, especially this year as we're planning our celebrations and our activities for the 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting. Would like to call forth Get Down Productions and Mahuma Group. Re kgopela bo Mr. Darren van Rensburg. Mr. Darren van Rensburg to the stage. Thank you so much. Select.
I left you, then I kissed you on my return. I watched you from every corner and every curve, and I wondered.
Thank you, DJ. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all of the dignitaries in the space. I'm going to start off by wishing, I think while we are sitting, because some people are, I'm an artist, so energy nyana yanya kera, ne? I'm going to ask everybody to please give a very, very loud round of applause for Radio TEF, please. 30 years, asemang lemang. Asemang lemang. Oh, stop it, I like it. My name is Darren van Rensburg, like the MC just mentioned, and I am the marketing coordinator for Get Down Productions, Mahuma Group, and all its subsidiaries. Mahuma Group is basically a through-the-line marketing agency, which does different theater productions, which we are mostly known for. But we have construction, we have catering, amongst other things. And Mr. Matome Rapetso, our founder and group chief director, personally asked me to come here and thank Radio TEF for its contribution to who we are today in society. As we have these activations, it's very important we must have bo le paragadi. I see le paragadi is here, le bo Ntabiseng Mututsi. Those are influencers, and that's a way of bringing people to activations. But Radio TEF is also a very, very key part of making sure the community is aware of all of our activations all across Limpopo. We thank you, Radio TEF. We love you, Radio TEF. We wish you many, many, many more years to come. I'm not even 30 years yet, so definitely older than me, but we definitely love and appreciate you, Radio TEF. Happy birthday. Danko means thank you.
Short and sweet. Thank you so much, Mr. van Rensburg. I'd like to call on more of our sponsors. Ke tlo kgopela ba tle 2x2. 2x2. If I like ratile mantswe a la boletšego ke Mr. van Rensburg a tlhalosa gore Radio TEF is supportive of local businesses. Because we understand that when we support local businesses, then we get to enjoy support from local businesses. Thank you so much. At this point, re kgopela bo Gabriel Mugashwa, Mr. Gab, by Undisputed Production. Would also like to call forth Kimoja Youth Skills Development Foundation, Hendrik Musi, re kgopela le batamele sefala. Thank you so much. Select.
To the executive of the University of Limpopo, all political and traditional leaders, everyone included, all protocol observed. I greet you all in the wonderful name of Jesus, my personal Savior, amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, my name is Mr. Gab, and I'm from Undisputed Productions, as well as RNG Meat Supplies. And we're just so happy, and we're very, very excited to be part of the 30th birthday of Radio TEF. It was in 2010 when Radio TEF gave some of us an opportunity. I remember hosting the Drive Time show, and the following year, 2011, given another opportunity again, Mr. Mdlalosi, to be the music compiler of Radio TEF. You fast forward years later, here we are standing, and just an amazing feeling to know that the seed that Radio TEF planted today can stand out as we are some people, as you can see now, most of you knowing us being award emceeing, whatever, everything that we're doing in the industry, all thanks to Radio TEF. And from us, Undisputed Productions and RNG Meats, would like to pledge our allegiance and partnership to Radio TEF that for the next 30 years, we will definitely be partnering, sponsoring anything you need. As the slogan says, Prof. Musi, that it's a station that listens to the people. We definitely will listen to you when you call, and I hope that you have a great time, and that was my time. Thank you very much.
Dumelang, wa bolela mo ke Phalo wa ga Musi from Kemoja Youth Skill Development Foundation. Kemoja Youth Skill Development Foundation, it's an organization, it's an NPO which deals with drug abusers. So today we will celebrate Radio TEF. So rata go leboga sebaka se ba kgonne go re fa sona gore re tle kgone go keteka le bona as a birthday ya yona. Ge ba kgonne le go re fa chance to be their sponsors. Rata go ba leboga kudu re mošomo o tšweletše pele le rena re tla no kgona go tšweletša pele re ntše re ba supporta as their supporters from the Kemoja Youth Skill Development Foundation. Ke a leboga.
Hala, Radio TEF, hala. Kita no boya kayo na because kiyo na 30 years, and I'm getting very excited. I wanna the sponsors. Engebe sintwela ba re go na le ntho ba re ke consent. Matjatjana lao haga motho, ha o no, must ask, can I give you a hug? And the person must give you consent. Because things are very tricky right now. And I love that they're consenting to keeping the time. They are so committed. That's why I consent. So I'll just blow them in the air. Thank you for respecting that time. Re kgopela MTM Hope Give Us Foundation and Halfway Toyota 4 Ways. Buntate Matibela ke kana ba batamele ga mmogo le Fortune Found Foundation Bush Hlongwane re kgopela ba batamele sefala re no tswela pele ape batho le bona o ba praise ke mka ba re no tswela pele re tlhomphe nako ka yona tsela e gomme ke tshepa gore batho ba tla ba bantse ba etswa ka ditafola go ya go hwetša diamaleng.
Ke a leboga motshwara marapo re ke thome ka go dumediša batho ka moka ka mo ntlong ye wa emeng mo ke Mathibela Kekana go tšwa ko Halfway Toyota re tšwa re le ko 4 Ways ko Gauteng ka baka la gore re le mo ka mošomo o ba re bileditšeng ona o mobotse wa Radio TEF ka mmadimabe MTM le yona ke nngwe ya dikgwebo tše re berekišanang le tšona go thuša batho bao ba nyaka go di-sponsors le bana ba dikolo ba e leng gore re ba thuša ka dieta le diaparo le dilo ka moka. Halfway Toyota ke company e šomang ka dikoloi re tlile fa ka lebaka la mošomo mobotse o dirang ke TEF radio wa go fatloša batho bana ba dikolo batho ka moka re a ilebogiša TEF le khono ge e godile e kgonne go fihla mengwaga e 30 re re e gole TEF le rena re tla dula re bietše matsogo gore e kgone go gola go ya pele re a leboga.
Thank you so much. Ke bona ba MTM Hope Give Us Foundation and Halfway Toyota 4 Ways ke buntate Mathibela Kekana rata go bitša sefaleng ba Fortune Found Foundation Bush Hlongwane ge ba le gona ge ba se gona gaufi would like to call forth bontate Kgasago ba Mope Security. Bontate K Kgasago ba rile re le paledi ba re batho ba no rata gore nna ke no ba le ba di-taxi re etabe ya gore batho ba ntse ba re ke rena ba di-taxi a ba kwane le yona bona ke ba Mope Security. Ntate Kgasago sebaka ke sa lena.
Yeah, thanks the program directors of this session. Like she indicated, I'm not ashamed to say I'm also operating taxis because I'm a transport person. So I'm the director of Khasao Management Services and also Mope Security Services. Second, I want to leboga gore re shumile mmogo ebile re sa tlo tšwela pele go šoma go šomela Radio TEF and happy birthday Radio TEF. 30 years is not a child's play. You worked hard. And I want to confess today to say I'm one of the directors of Radio TEF by then. But ka gore di fela di šielana le nna ke šietše ba bangwe ka ona mantšu a ke a leboga golang Radio TEF happy.
Mo ke dumedisa batho ka moka tšatši la lekgono ka lebitso le le maatla la morena Jesu. Ke rata gore nka thoma ke no re gannyane ke re the book of Matthew 14 mo verse 17 ke a bona re a ja ba re kwa tlhatheng Jesu ga e be a na le barutiwa ba hae ba re re tshwere ke tlala ke bošego e re ba reka dijo ba je a Jesu ntate o mongwe a re awa mara go na le o mongwe o mo tshwere lo fotse 5 le tlhapi tše pedi a rapela a re a laletša matlho go morena re ke laletša matlho ka dithabeng tlhakodiša ka tlo tša kae ba ngwathagana 5 loaves ba ja I think today re ngwathagana 5 loaves ka tlhapi tše pedi re tlo ja ra tatša diroto tše 12 tša marathana ra ya gae re khotše ntle le go tshenya sebaka morero o mogolo re o tetše mo ke go to celebrata Radio TEF ga e fetša 30 years ke le kokonape ke rata go leboga nna ke rutegile tate Mabuza my manager ai ke rutegile tšatši la mamotlha ke re ke rutegile go papa ba leba kae papa ke ngwadile leina ka lebala sefane the founder of the Radio TEF re ta re le re ka kwa ra tseba gore who's the founder ke manye ra sa no tseba gore aowa ke station that listen to people 1.3 no ke tswa kgole kudu le radio ka yona ke rutegile ke rata ditaba ke rata lenaneo la gospel go senye ka re rutege gore matswalo a rena re fole matswalo ka Radio TEF ke rutegile ge le kwa bontate Mabutsa ba bolela ka nna ba re merogo dipinatšhe ge ba ka bitša bontate Mathebula ka kwa di-technician tse le tša ka kwa ba le ba go lema ba le ba dikading ke kwana le o lema nna gape ke a founa ka re le reng ye itla ka ba re e tla ka mono o ye ka office ya agriculture ka kwa go bo mamang ka tsena ka kwa ba nthuša ba re diša mobu wena re tla go checkela ka rola mobu ka o isa ka kwa university ba o isa go ntate professor Mokgalong ba boya bana ba le ba university re ile ra no tshwenya ke di-covid ba ta ka kwa ga ka pase e kgolo ba dira di-practical ka go lema between go lema ka manyora le go lema ka tša Sesotho ka Radio TEF ke rutegile Radio TEF e 30 years ai bana tate Mamadi ma station manager ai I love it ke phagamiša modimo ke kwa ke lo motlotlo nna ke tse sekolo no sekolo sa ka modimo wa fa modimo o fa mpho a re tja motho mongwe le mongwe mo lefaso le le mpho ya hae e modimo a mo fileng o swantse bana bešo the way ke thakgetšeng ka gona where's the cake oh is here gape re tetše keke mo mara ke leboga ka re le gone ke rutegile ke tsebile the founder of the University of the radio station, not the university, the radio station. Papa, ke a leboga. Re to re le ge re bolela ka mošito kore re tsena ka kwa university wa tsewa kore re ke kwešiša gore e tswa kae a re a kwa bare re ba bone ka matlho re a ba tseba ke a leboga
motheletši o mogologologologolo wa Radio TEF re a leboga kokonape a kere ke a tseba re mo itemong wa botlhokwa kudu le tla ntshwarela ka gore we work together, we know each other very I know former presenters like Stylish DJ, now is Dr. Khasao. O rata letswai ke nyako kwa dijo tšela tšela gore na a tšhela letswai. Dr. Batung, awale babisha. Is sitting together with Mr. Gap, the multi-award winning MC, Jack Rams, also the former radio presenter. I saw Wills D, the former programs manager of Radio TEF. Barbadia di permanent and when other my or pone permanent. Again, Redira so, Rijuela Bailey, on behalf of the executive mayor, or from the office of the executive mayor of Capricorn District Municipality, Councillor Midu Pitefo, Bebaratile or Bakabalere Nafa, Juale Novalor Batsuare, Leban Romejo WhatsApp, Kagoren Nake WhatsApp, the councillor, the mayor, the minister, the MEC, the prof. So Genor Norman, just send me a WhatsApp, I will just read it out on your behalf. So they are saying happy 30th anniversary to Radio TEF. Le role, e role, they could not be here with us. Item we refitile. For now, on word of support, from MMC for sport, arts, culture, and special programs from the Polokwane municipality, ke tlo kgopela fa Councillor Tebele Jerry Mamabolo. Selector. Councillor Tebele Jerry Mamabolo. You're looking flamboyant, sir. Very nice.
We don't even cry about it.
All right, selector.
Ke a leboga. Ke leboga go menagane, our program directors, me Reneilwe Mudipane. Hey, monna ge shulina la go ba lengwadile ka mokgomongwe ke le lekoto man.
Athanasius, please.
Athanasius.
Athanasius.
Ke nyakile Athanasius. Bjale ka ge ba boletše ke nna Tebele Jerry Mamabolo, ke eme fa legatong la masepala Polokwane, ke romile ke Meyara Phetiši, Councillor Mosema Makoro John Mpe, ke re ge ke bolela ka yena ka methakare ke Mosema Maruadi Thitho saela pula yana, ba gampe ke Makhubu thabeng ya ga Molepo, ke Matswankwane Matebele a hloka kgomo a ja motho. O rile ga nthoma fa a re sepela wena kolobe a beata di bja mamorela maepade gore maja makgereta, wena ga Mamabolo a solwana sa mmatala di sekgopa banna matolo phoofolo tša mesela, ba re go ba ga Mamabolo re alla se buduša ka letšatši mola bangwe ba buduša ka pula. Eya o nkemela kua ka gore ke swere ke di swara batho tšatšing le Radio Tef e ketekago mengwaga ye 30. Let me take this opportunity to greet the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture, Mena Kedikekana in absentia, who also loved to be here with us, but Liena uswere ke de swara batho. Ke tamishe ba ba sa tswang go bolela ka bona fa me Mamidu Pitefo, the executive mayor wa Capricorn District Municipality, in absentia. Let me greet Ms. Mawetu Mapulane, chairperson of the board of directors. Ke tamishe mo professora Sheila Musi Magorena, ke tamishe ntate Spiwe ekine wena maloba kwa kolofong. You ran the program and you did very well. Ke a go tamisha mogala. Ebile o le co-founder ya Radio Tef, the station that listens to the people. Ke tamishe former station managers Tobel. Ke tamishe the former station manager o a re go a eme a re Tobel. Ke nna Luba Ramakgolo moetapele wa Thobela FM ka Good Friday re a go gopola Mokhalabe, we miss you. But we are glad that you are also here with us. Ke tamishe gape le moruti Vusimusi Mabuza, moruti wa ka ke a le tamisha. Ke tamishe gape badiredi ba the station that listens to the people. ke tamishe the director wa roads and stormwaters o arengalefa ya ba gore o representa the municipal manager Methusone Mukumoni, director David Ramakgwakgwa ibile ele yena moetapele wa Amigos Palace ntate Ramakgwakgwa re a go tamiša. Distinguished guests, members of the media, Khotso Aibelle. Ke tamiše le ntate Kgomo e Swana o a le magareng ga rena fa ke be ke mo kgopele gore a mphetišetše madume o šetše o eme mo ke sa dumediša a pa ke a thaka bolela a mphetišetše madume to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Limpopo, ntate Professor rather Mahlo Mogalo. Le mmotša gore mošomo o a o dirago bjale ka Polokwane municipality re a o bona ebile re a o thabela. All of us understands the important role that radio plays in our society, the economy and everyday life of our people. We appreciate the presence of the business sector among us who are responding to the national call by President Cyril Ramaphosa that it requires stronger public-private partnership that will mobilize the necessary resources for the advancement of the country's developmental objectives. Program Director, May 1994, marked exactly when Radio TEF was established and went on air broadcasting to our communities in their mother tongue and in English. Bagasha ka Sepedi le ka Seesimane. The celebration of the station's birthday comes at the right time because when it was launched in 1994, the country was just fresh from the first ever democratic elections. Now, the birthday comes exactly when South Africans are celebrating 30 years of democracy. As Muruti stood here and told us about the ruling party and its role, or the role that it played in ensuring that Radio TEF or community radio stations like Radio TEF becomes what they are. It was because South Africa was free and Radio TEF ke thaka ya democracy ya Africa Borwa. It is through our democracy that community radio stations like Radio TEF were born as an instrument to educate our communities about their civic rights and responsibilities and to empower our communities with knowledge. These radio stations were not going to be abused as state machinery like we have witnessed during the apartheid era, when the National Party took over the SABC and abused it as a mouthpiece for government to implement their apartheid policies. It was through democracy that it was through democracy that we celebrate today, that the SABC was transformed to become a public broadcaster that serves the interests of the people of South Africa and getting rather majority of South Africans' interests in what government does. Just like the SABC, community radio stations were empowered to be able to tell people's stories, and these stories include being critical of government when it is not doing well, and also, or rather at the same time, reporting what government is doing in a balanced manner. As we gather here this evening to celebrate the station as it continues on its 30th year celebration as a community radio service, Radio TEF, the station that listens to the people, is still here to tell stories and create everlasting memories for the people of Polokwane. Since its establishment in 1994, Radio TEF continues to serve the people of Polokwane as a source of news and information by providing content that is educational, informative, and entertaining. We are also celebrating the fact that Radio TEF has stood the test of time. We are celebrating also the fact that Radio TEF continues to touch the people's lives, especially the people from Mankweng and other areas. I'm not disrespecting you, you gave people time. And I'm going to finish my speech. As a politician and as a councillor from Ward 31, ke mo councillara wa Mamutintane, ke mo councillara wa Nchechane, ke mo councillara wa Thabang, ke mo councillara wa Iraka, Ward 31 ke e kgolo le Mmalesa. Lenaneo la Ntometsebe le mfounela ka metlha le ka metlha ba nyaka go kwešiša gore mošomo wa rena ke eng bjale ka masepala a Polokwane le makhanselara. Ge re araba dipotšišo tše ba re botšišang tšona, re netefatša gore re botša setšhaba sa Ward 31, re botša setšhaba sa Polokwane ka dikgatelo pele tšeo masepala a Polokwane go tloga kua o bang gona o fitlhagane bjale o di dirileng le tše o sa tlang go di dira. Ene ge re netefatša gore re dira seo, re ba ra kwešiša le karolo ye Radio TEF e tšeago to hold us accountable to the public or to the communities. We are saying today Radio TEF is 30 years old. And the 30 years of Radio TEF translate directly in making sure that the government that is in power today, the very same government that supported the fact that Radio TEF should exist, e kgona go boela setšhabeng ya ba botša ditaba tše ba nyakang go di kwa, ya ba botša tšeo ba swanetšego gore ba di dire gore ba fihlelele methopo ya tokologo yeo re e ketekago letšatšing la lehono. Bjale ka ge ke boletše gore Radio TEF ke thaka ya democracy. If it wasn't for the ruling party, Radio TEF would have died. Radio TEF would have closed as Baikasa Babuleji. But today, because we are free, because the leading party, the ruling party rather, made it a point that Radio TEF continues existing as ritile kuale minister, deputy minister Tembisiwe. Re ta go launcha the state of the art station. We were there, I was there, representing the executive mayor of Polokwane. It was a milestone and a commitment to say our government is the only government that can take the South Africa forward. So, erenki tšee sebaka se ke le leboge ka moka ga lena ge le kgobokane ka mokgwa bjale ka badudi ba Polokwane go ta go keteka le station se sa go theeletša batho go ta go netefatša gore ntwa a se polelo fela ebile a se toro ke tiragalo ye le gore go re ka moka ka gare ga yona. Let us celebrate this day. Let us also wish Radio TEF another 30 years of broadcasting. E reng nte le go le senyetša sebaka ka gore e batho ba šetše ba ija ba ka go felela pelo ke re legatong la Mayor Phetišo wa Polokwane Councillor Mosema Makoro John Mpe ke re malaedi ka laela kgale ka tšea pata ka sepela ka ikala gae bolobedu bolo bathaga gana kwa ga metsi mašwana metsi mafolo ga thaba ka diphororo ke ile ta dira thaboele marung ge e tša fase o di bone go rata mmoto a se go thwa godimo ga ona thobela
re a leboa councillor councillor matsogo batho councillor ba o bethela matsogo you are live now on the University of Limpopo. Now the whole continent is watching you as you are sitting down. Re a leboga batho ba bagolo. With all due respect, and I'm begging on this one, and I'm glad that we are radio presenters. We know that on radio we work with time. You have seen some of the speakers like Reverend Mabuza, Prof. Muzi, they've retired. They're still going to drive, you know? And I'm saying, let's think that other people are going far. I know we are here to celebrate. We don't want to finish. I would never ever disrupt the speaker while the speaker is talking. Let's bear in mind for the time. I'm begging, because they are signing for me, and I'm trying by all means to indicate. We move right along. The councillor. Yeah. Next item. The role of community radio in sport, arts, and culture. But while I'm on this one, the role of community radio in sports, arts, and culture, Ms. Veronica Mukhonyana, get the Chief Director of Sport, Arts, and Culture Selector, with a big round of applause as they're coming on stage.
Hello, family. We're going to do this one time. One time only. Hey, we would like to take you back to a place.
All right, selector. Ke gopala corrector. Because ra change ka mo batla o emela ke Miss Sarah Mdlangomo from Department of Sports and Culture. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Program Director. I'm here to deliver a message of support and congratulate Radio TEF on their 30 years celebration of uninterrupted broadcasting. I'm here on behalf of the Office of the Chief Director for Cultural Affairs at the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, May Veronica Mukhonyana. My name is Sarah Mdlankomo. I'm the Director for Infrastructure Coordination at the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. As the department, under our Directorate of Arts and Culture, we take pride in supporting our communities in the areas of performing arts and creative arts. I want to appreciate the former speaker, Councillor Mamabolo, for acknowledging our political leadership. I would like to acknowledge all our distinguished guests and all protocol observed. On behalf of the department, I want to congratulate Radio TEF for achieving this milestone, the 30 years of community broadcasting. This is a massive and admirable achievement indeed. It is worth the celebration of this magnitude. We are proud and honored to be associated with the services of Radio TEF, the service that they are rendering to the listeners of inspiring, entertaining, educating, and informing the communities. It indeed brings hope to our communities, especially the rural communities. The radio has brought nothing but civilization and exposed our listeners and communities to the outside world. The mandate of Radio TEF is in line with our mandate as the department, which is promoting social cohesion and nation building, of which Radio TEF is uniting and building the communities on a digital platform. I'm going to be very brief, and I want to conclude by saying that Radio TEF remains the theater of the mind. It remains relevant in building societies, and it remains relevant in regenerating morals in our communities through the news programmers. May the coming 30 years of Radio TEF remain productive and fruitful. May Radio TEF continue changing life. May Radio TEF grow. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Ke bona bo Miss Sarah Mdlangomu from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Re lebogarile la hlompha invitation ya rena and showed up. And thank you for the words of support. At this point, we'd like to move forward with our keynote address for the evening. I'd like to call forth Professor Mahlo Mokhalong, the Vice Chancellor and Principal at the University of Limpopo. Sebaka ke sa lena, kgopela le ba emise ka kosha.
Program Director, I think it's proper that I indicate that I'm not Professor Mokhalong, the Vice Chancellor of the university, but I'm here to represent him. My name is Richard Madaje. Greetings to everybody, and it's also proper that as the university, we would like to acknowledge the presence of all guests, and in particular, the university management represented today by Professor Mautu, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, where Radio TEF is located, Mr. Victor Homieswana, the Executive Director of Marketing and Communication at the university, and the speakers who came earlier, Advocate Sifuka, Ntate Ramaholo, Ntate Machila, though he did not come to the fore, but I know you are present amongst us. Ntate Mudlalose, in fact, I cannot mention all of them by name. Professor Musi, Reverend Mabuza, and of course, Kukunape, Riliboni, Really rata, keep up the good support for this very effective radio station. Nabo makondembedzi rekolibuwesa, roba bona, tikedzo yabo rekoilibuwesa. If I don't mention you by name, please, don't feel bad about it. We have seen you and we acknowledge you, we appreciate you, all our political leaders, our traditional leaders, business leaders, and everybody, the students, the former DJs or broadcasters at Radio TEF. Se ke nyaka o sibulela ke hore selo sa Reverend Mabuza re se kwile, and it's a great pleasure for me to state that the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mokhalong, has heard that cry. And I'm pleased once again to say, Sikoloto sa ilasa center, I saw Sikoloto. The university will take care of that. This is the message that I got from the Vice Chancellor of the university. We know that Radio TEF is part and parcel of the university. We therefore cannot allow it to vanish into thin air. We cannot allow Radio TEF to disappear or to die. That will not happen as long as the university exists. So I want to assure the audience here that Radio TEF is here to stay, and it will stay for many years to come, when most of us are no longer here. But Radio TEF will be just like when we say from the scriptures that in the beginning was the Word. And one would like to say, in 1994, there was a radio station. And that radio station is Radio TEF. With these few words, the university appreciates all of you, and please keep up the support that you have been rendering to the station. Reverend Mabuza, I wish we could talk maybe after this function, just to make you happier that what you have started with Professor Musi will be there for many years to come. So today you must sleep peacefully, knowing that your radio station is alive, and it will be alive forever, as long as the university exists. So in a nutshell, we as the university, we know the importance that Radio TEF plays in the community. And we know that it is there, of course, to train our students to become good broadcasters, good academics. And we are highly proud of the work of this radio station. People might be saying it's struggling. It is not struggling. In fact, we pay its employees decent salaries. That is why some of them are driving big cars. That's why if you were to look at Ntate, Mama did there, look at him. Look at his suit. Is that cheap? It is not. That's because we pay him so well. So, Reverend Mabuza, we have heard you, and we shall keep our promise. If you want to come back and join us, maybe as a DJ one day, you will still be welcome. And we shall pay you a decent salary. So, in a nutshell, I don't want to take too long, except to say all of us are very happy and proud about this station. And I'm repeating the undertaking that Professor Mukhalong made, that this radio station will exist for many years to come. Thank you.
Matsogo, matsogo. And escalated. This time I re-increased escalator, I exaggerate. A round of applause for Professor Madaje, DVC of Teaching and Learning. Thank you so much. They stood in beautifully for Prof. Mahlo Mokgalong. Nna ke di kwele ditshepišo tse rena batho ba go rata go pretend ba ma 2K ra record everything. Re tlo le šala morago gore and ke rena ba mmedi. Re re in the year 2024, Prof, you made a promise. Mara ka lemoga gore eish moruti o lebetse something. Ya ke re ba re go kgopela metsi motho nyaka Sprite. Right, mara moruti ka ra bolela ka music department. No. And about permanent positions. Maybe we're really 2 presenters. Sir, thank you so much for that wonderful address. At this point, we'd like to call forth an artist. We haven't had a live act since the opening poem. Bagwana Martha Masha. Hargarena. Rehopela babat amele sefala. Batlabar femino. Bonabaja from LEM, Limpopo Artists Movement. Rehopela babat amele sefala. Homebar femino. In the meantime, my selector.
Radio Tef halala. Marle bona marle jele le nuele. Why ugarle? Halala Radio Tef halala. Halala Radio Tef halala. Erege to me gore. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Aginyo ko pela kutil legare. Legata la sagan. Anyway, let me first send a big shout out to the station that listens to the people, Radio Tef, for its 30th celebration. Le roleng, cholampele gore ruta, cholampele gore sedimosha, ibile cholampele gore thabisha. DJ, are we on? Nagichelela. Ga shuki chwela ke le kwa districting ya Sekhukhune. So normally gantši ge ke fihla mo ke fihlang ke nyaka gore batho ba tsebe gore ke tšwela kae. As I'm representing Limpopo Artist Movement, this is how I represent myself. DJ. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Mbelere kama ete, yela gishoja. Mbelere kama ete, gishenga matlako. Mbelere kama ete, yela gishoja. Mbelere kama ete, gishenga matlako. Gishenga Can I see you? Ngisheng, ngisheng, ngisheng,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Limpopo has talent. Limpopo lacks nothing. Thank you so much for that performance from Martha, Masha. We're getting to dessert. Masha. Hey, Prof. Okay, Martha, Masha. Re tlo go kata cake. It is time for us to get to our cake cutting part of the program. La di bona kitse di cake tse di botsana tša go tshwana la 30. I'm going to request the following people to please come forth for our cake cutting ceremony. Re kgopela bo Sara Mdlankomo, Miss Sara Mdlankomo, by Sports, Arts and Culture, on behalf of the MEC. Advocate Sefoka, the Secretary of the Board here at Radio TEF. Re kgopela letle pele. Re kgopela Prof Madaje. He's our favorite person tonight, as of now. Re kgopela batle pele. Re kgopela Prof Mautu batle pele. Re tlo kgopela gape di sponsors. Re kgopela REF ba Road Accident Fund. Re kgopela batle pele le ba Halfway Toyota. Re kgopela batle pele. Re tlo kgopela gape le the station manager ya Radio TEF, Mr. Makwena Mamadi batle pele. Re tlo kgopela gape bo director Moruboya batle pele. Re tlo kgopela le HOD Bopape, kgopela le bona batle pele. Batlomphegi ka moka ke kgopela batle pele. Ba ke ba badileng pele ke kgopela ba eme ka lehlakoreng le. Bo Miss Sara Mdlankomo, bo Advocate, bo Prof Madaje, bo Professor Mautu. Ke kgopela ba emele ka kene. Re kgopela le Mr. Ha ibile ba batametše. Ntate Khomusane, ino jang a few more steps forward. Re kgopela le re join on this side. To my left, itaba bo Miss Sara Mdlankomo, Advocate Sefoka, Professor Madaje, Professor Mautu. To my right, itaba REF, Road Accident Fund, Halfway Toyota, the Director Morubuya, le HOD Bupape, this side. Tswetswe. Ntate Khomusane, e so dulang fatshe mohlomphegi ke a le kgopelana ka mo. Tswetswe motho o mogolo. Re a leboga. Re a leboga. Re kgopela selector. Hey, that one.
It's
is a birthday. Let's sing along. Happy birthday, Radio Taf. Happy birthday, Radio Taf. Happy birthday, Radio Taf. All right. Happy birthday, Radio Taf. Happy birthday. The station that listens to the people. Oh yeah? All right. All right. 30 years of uninterrupted broadcast. It's what we are celebrating. It's what we are celebrating. Radio Taf. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Yo. Kukunape man, wabonje saka, saka. Chu. Kukunape. All right, selector. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Thank you for honoring this. All right. Yeah. Kiabona or no. The moment all I came not too good. There is one thing that was missing. Selector, the happy birthday. Everyone, let's sing out loud to Radio Taf. Happy birthday to what you do best. Everyone, kukunapi arba wonchor jaiva. It's a birthday, pen. Selector, the happy birthday. Yes. One, come on, guys. 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting. Can you imagine? Check the velocity up. Choo. I want everyone up. Come on, it's 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting. This is Radio Taf, the station that listens to the people. Oh, yeah? Choo. Happy birthday, Radio Taf. Happy birthday. 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting. The best radio station ever. That's your birthday party. Babonche prof. The palake prof. Mau tuban. Prof. It's a happy birthday, Radio Taf. Thank you so much. I like the energy. Yeah. I like the energy. Yeah. I just noted, and then the reason I said this was because they told me that those who stood up are the ones who are going to eat the cake. So I noted, you were not, no, and Moses Morero, Bravi, Nagetla Feleja, Executive Director of Marketing and Communication, Mr. Victor, Negel staff, but because I want to be real life. Get Lulu Bujorgamo Besa Melele and I'll close your cake. Because one Bujamala Jor, or Besa Emele, I'll close your cake. Ladies and gentlemen, let's close your cake off. Like, of course, ne? All right, we're about to finish. The item I'm here, because even the energy. It is because I'm going to call the vote of thanks. And as you can see in all your programs, the vote of thanks, it's written Mr. Magwena Mamadi, the station manager of Radio Taf. I had the pleasure to meet him, and for him, he was my station manager, Mr. Mamadi. But Nagimumiti Lagat last when we were doing honors. Kefelage Monchadi Karabo. Ke kwa rojas no barona ka nukushora wa kos no barona ko no na tabantate Mamadi no bona fa or bo reverend ba ta ka di hypothermic neutral theory o ba ne re ntse ga botsa ke So, Mr. Mamadi is where I've earned the name Mr. Flamboyant. People always compliment everyone in class to say you look flamboyant. And then they called me Mr. Flamboyant. I hope I did justice to the name. So for Mr. Mamadi when I itla, ke tlo kgopela hore ara itla o ba no farafarilwe ke ska re manyelo ya kere o farafarilwe ke staff sa gae di presenter ka moka le di trainee because Radio TEF trains presenters. That's why letlana le Radio TEF di presenters ja bona di tletse all over South Africa. It trains and it takes their training programs very serious. Because it's about Bomazogo time and Mr. Mamadi wa dancer selector are change my gear well. Let's set the mood. The presenter ka moka to what you do best. Choo. I wena man. Babonche station manager. Choo. I wena man. 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 Yo. Chencha magia. Staff ka moka sa Radio TEF, please. Staff sa Radio TEF, come to the front. Lidi trainee ka ufela Jona. Mr. Mamadi wa lenyaka fa. Nyago chencha magia lelena. Mama Luigi Awona from news department, please come. Staff ka moka sona. Of Radio TEF. Magia baby.
Rikoyo kwama, asenja magia. Rikoyo kwama, asenja magia. Rikoyo kwama, asenja magia. Rikoyo kwama, asenja magia.
Radio TEF, the station that listens to the people. All right. Selector, so we are celebrating 30 years, and these people are making sure that the station is uninterrupted in broadcasting. All right. Okay. Selector. Wills D. No, you're no longer here.
Program directors, Athanasius Masoma, le Refilwe Mudipane. Re leboga sebaka se le re fileng sona go tla go leboga batho kaofela ba ba leng gona fa le batheletši ba rena ba ba theleditšeng Radio TEF kua magaeng le batheletši ba ba theleditšeng Mohodi Community Radio kua magaeng. Re rata go tšea sebaka se re le dumediše bošegong bjo ba lekgono ba Radio TEF ba di 9 tša May 2024. Re dumediša batho ka moka goba ke re all protocol observed. Magagešo re kopane fa re le Radio TEF banna le ba bonang fa ba go tšwa programming ya media studies ka University ya Limpopo le bao ba tšwago magaeng metsi e re gašetšago ga Mamabolo ga Mothapo ga Mothiba ga Molepo le ga Dikgale ba ba leng ka mo Radio TEF ba absorbilego ke University ya Limpopo. O ke ba bangwe ba rena ba ba botsana ba profone ba bolela ka bona ba re mara le a bona le lena gore re a patela mara le a bona le lena gore re a patela. Legatong la the license holder University of Limpopo, Radio TEF volunteers, management and board of directors. Re rata go leboga baeng ba rena ba letšatši la lekgono goba bošegong bja lekgono. Re leboga kemedi ya go tšwa Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, legatong la molekgotla petish, Honorable Kekana, o a emetšwego ke Sara Ndlomo Nkulu, right? Heya, se name me Sara re a leboga. Ge le gona fa Mdlamkomo, ya Mdlamkomo, all right. Re a leboga ge le bile le rena fa letšatšing la lekgono go tswa masepaleng wa rona wa Polokwane mokhanselara Jerry Mamabolo re thekgo ya lena yeo le re filego yona letšatšing la lekgono. Program directors, we also appreciate the leadership of the University of Limpopo, guided by our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Mokhalo. Re leboga Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, Professor Madaj, ge ba bile le rena letšatšing la lekgono le molaetša woo ba re filego. Prof, ro leboa thikhedzo yabo na gore bono kono swika mošomong wa šo namosi. Special recognition goes to our Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, Professor Maoto. Thekgo le tlhatlho e le re fa stationing re a leboga. Re rata go leboga gape the Executive Director wa rona go tswa ka marketing, Ntate Tswana, ge re na le bona fa bošegong bja letšatši la lekgono. Re leboga gape the Director of School of Languages and Communication Studies, Professor Mogoboya, the Head of Department of Communication, Media and Information Studies, Professor Bopape, goba le rena fa letšatšing la lekgono. Re rata gape go acknowledge le go leboga university staff members le ma students a leng gona fa letšatšing le la lekgono. Re leboge Ntate Simphiwe Mdlalos, o ebileng o mongwe wa bathomi ba station se sa Radio TEF ka 1994. Re eme fa letšatšing la lekgono gobane ebile bona bao ba thomilego project ye ya Radio TEF. Re a ba leboga. Re leboga former board members, managers, presenters and producers gore ba kgonne go ba le rena fa letšatšing la lekgono goba mathapameng a letšatši la lekgono. Program directors, re leboge our regulator, the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa, ICASA. Ba ge re ka se ba leboge ka nako ya renewal le ba tlile re tswalela ke a ba tseba ba tswalela di-station a ba re nka. Re ba leboga Ntate Kabelo Thelele le Tabitha Serumula, re leboga go ba gona ga lena fa. Re leboge batlhokomedi ba sector ye ya media ya community radio, Media Development and Diversity Agency, MDDA. DVC, MDDA ba re file funding ya mathomo ya program production. Ge ke tsena Radio TEF ka 2011 ke kgweditše e le gona ebile re e feleletša. Go tloga moo ba re fa funding ya state of the art studios tšela re di bonang ka mola ke tše di tlileng tša bula ke minister or deputy minister in the presidency ka nako eo Methembi Soweya. Gone bjale le gona ba sa re fundile gape ngwageng wa go feta ka funding ya inverter, OB le Centec. Bele re lokela go ba leboga ka gore ba tlhokometse sector ye ya rena ye ya community radio. Re leboga client ya rona e kgolo e re tsebago GCIS, Government Communication and Information System. GCIS e dira business le community radio stations on behalf of all government departments in the country. Ba reka airtime ya rona nako le nako. Re ba leboga because ke client ya rona e kgolo. Our sister stations tše di leng gona fa letšatšing la lekgono, Blowback FM, Mphatlele FM, Nzelele FM, Makado FM, Zebediela FM, Mutse FM le NCRF Limpopo. Re leboga thekgo ya lena. Special thanks to Mohodi FM bao ba ga to ye thui go ba theletše ba bona kua magaeng. Re ba leboga ba re file airtime ye mahala lekgono. Airtime ye gabotsebotse e rekišwa ka 80,000 fela bona ba re file yona mahala lekgono. Re rata leboga bathekgi ba rena ba ba thekgilego mošomo wa rena go tloga re sa thoma mošomo mathomong. Road Accident Fund bao ba donatilego 20 laptops tše di tlong go donatiwa to underperforming schools within our area of broadcast. Lebaka re re di ya go underperforming schools re lemogile re le Radio TEF gore dikolo tše di šomang gabotse batho ka moka ba ya go tšona. ba ba lebogiša fela ona le dikolo tše di sa šomeng gabotse mohlomongwe ba tlhoka di-resources gore ba dire mošomo wa bona bjale ra re dikolo tše 5 within our area of broadcast di tla hwetša di-laptops. Each school will get 5. Re ya go donate 30 laptops ka ge re celebrate yona 30 years. Already ka yona RAF re šetše re na le 20 ka mo officing. Re ya go donate gape le 30,000 sanitary towels mo dikolong tše di leng area. Bjale re rata go leboga di-sponsora tša rona, Road Accident Fund, MTM Hope Foundation, Halfway Toyota, Paledi Mall, Get Down Productions, Matumi Rapetswa Foundation, Mahuma Group, Fortune Found Foundation, Amigos Palace, Dijon Lifestyle, Undisputed Productions, Black Revolution Media, Evacuation Chair, Graduate Student Foundation, Polokwane Municipality, Pleasuretainment, Molaetsa Media, Sidu Molepo Trading, Limpopo Tourism Agency, Limpopo Gambling Board, Kemoja Youth Skills Development Foundation, KP Tax Entertainment, SKA, Radioactive Media and Media Heads, DKMS Africa, Student Village, Field Fire Media, Limepa Security, Gammogo, Le Tolo Beauty and Hair Benny. Ke bona ba thegi ba rena go tloga mo ra thoma mošomo go ba go fitha letšatšing la lekgono. Re sa ya pele le bona ka ge re sa ya go dira donations dikolong. Re rata go leboga team ye e šomilego mošomo wo gabotse go tšwa ka marketing wa university ya rona, Radio TEF Volunteers Management le Board of Directors. Ba ile ba šoma mošomo wo gabotse ka ge e be le local organizing committee ya rena. Program directors nka ba ke dira phošo e kgolo kudu re le station ge re ka se leboge our content providers bao ba re lemošago letšatši ka letšatši ka gore di-presenters tša rena ga se batsebi ke fela ba drivang batsebi gore ba bolele le setšhaba. Re leboga gape our listeners bao ba theletšago Radio TEF letšatši ka letšatši bao o fa ka di-taxi tše pedi go tšwa magaeng a re gašetšago mo go ona. Re ba leboga gobane ka metha client ge e tla mo stationing e re nyaka listenership re ba fa bona batho ba gore re na le batho ba ba tla rekang product ye ya lenae. Re rata go leboga our performers, DJs, program directors tša rona go dira mošomo mo botse wo le o dirilego. Bofelong re leboga diboledi ka moka tše di bileng gona mo programming ye ya rona letšatšing la lekgono le go leboga o mongwe le o mongwe wa lena yo a le go fa letšatšing la lekgono a ile a le kgetha gore o tla tla go keteka le rena. Re leboga go menagane magagešo mofantiro e Ken Sankare motshimbidza mshumo ro leboa Chifinga. I thank you.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause. Selector, as they are leaving the stage. Radio TEF, the station that listens to the people. 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting. Or we're not better Radio TEF. Your TEF. In front of you, Baba Vula Mona again. Is all right, selector. Real Lebora, Honorable Station Manager, Date Mamadi, Manzoma Bozi, Relebora, Mushumo Mubuzi, Levatoka Moga, everyone Bamuagnoledi Jagger, Releboa Gudu to everyone present. It has been a wonderful night. Orgibolela Maka. Refile, wasn't this a wonderful night?
Na senga se bolelago ke go rata go leboga bagolo ka moka batho ba leng gore ba tlile mo ba hlompha Radio TEF ba bona go le bohlokwa gore ba be gona bošegong bjo mme ba bona go tshwanetse gore ba hlomphe dipekenene tša le kana le nna le wena e re bolela re re ba no re sekagela tsebe.
Happy birthday, Radio Tef! Hip hip